If you spot us, you know how you got us. It's over, you saying your last prayer. Go ahead.
Till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he abdominal. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupon for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's worth the mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas feel like a tire, but down the D, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. You will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my daughters safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraph, so forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to get salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud, it's gone because of who? Y'all rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid, plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jacked, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate. I do anything keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. What only make it worse is loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my taxes. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Dog, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fast for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Yahanna Shabrak. Hey, what's going on out here? How y'all feeling?
Good.
So
Everybody looking ready. I like the theme where everybody has some kind of black and something going on. Yeah, I mean they're gonna think we planned this, but let them know we one body, one West all the way, man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean holding it down for Command Johnny Yahanna, hardest working man in Israel, giving my hand. Yeah, I mean I was getting things done. Yeah, I mean moving things around, handling business. Yeah, I mean. So y'all know at the end of the month we have Chicago Cookout. Y'all get yourselves ready, get your flights ready, get your cars ready if you're driving. Get that bus ticket, get that train ticket, buy some gym shoes and start walking if you need to. But we're gonna have to converge on the Magnificent Mile. Yeah, man, the Magnificent Mile with my quad down there. We'll be rocking it out. I think it was July 28th, 27th to the 30th.
Yeah.
I think something like that. Thursday night. Thursday, I think is scripture breakdown class on Hyman. Friday is the camp. Friday after camp is Command and Journey Yahanna lecture live in Chicago. Friday night, I think we take the city by storm. What page is it on? I will, let me see if I can pull it up. Take the city by storm.
Hey, Councilman Shaw, that General Q.
Hey, Cap.
Where he at?
I'm over here. Don't worry about it. Hey.
He's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. The General Q in the fourth dimension. Is that you? Hey, shalom, salam,
Man,
Barack.
come on now.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, y'all do a can't recap. I can't recap right quick. I want to hear what happened in those zones y'all rocking out.
Oh, okay. DC we had camp today. You know what I mean? It was a little weather was a little up and down. But we went out there, they got busy. A few Christians came up, thought they knew the Bible, thought they had the zeal of God, and left with their fire out. Totally quenched. They left the block smoking, just pour water on that fire. You know what I mean? And then of course we had some rain come down, so our camp ended a little bit earlier. But the regular DC camp, just a few battles. The brothers, get out there and rock it out real good. So DC was really run of the mill today. I don't think nothing too out of the ordinary.
Damn right. Who next?
Oh yeah. Who's next? Listen, and the Spurgeon keep running down the council right here.
Yeah. Well, Fayetteville was hot as ever. I mean, hotter than hot. You know what I mean? But we had a couple, people come up, heathens come up, and got schooled well. You know what I mean? We had with Nickel, whatever, a oppressor and his wife with fake crowns on their head, try to come up against the camp, Roman Catholics. You know what I mean? And they got whooped. You know what I mean? In the spirit. That is. That's about it.
India, I believe you up. You meeting on my end? Kapash. I think your mic muted though. Okay, it unmuted, but I think your mic may not be plugged into with your computer, or it's not on or something. Because I see you trying to talk, but we can't hear nothing. Nah.
Yeah, his mic on. He might be just had to go in the settings.
Yeah, check in the stream, y'all. Check and see what you have as your mic.
Yeah.
But something not picking up. Nah. Just make sure it's plugged in. Make sure your mic plugged into the computer. Check your USB. Nah, still nothing.
I got a backup mic I could use.
Yeah. That's it now. You're there with it now.
Okay, we'll just use this one then.
I could hear you now.
Is the volume real good though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you had John Key wanted to run down on the camps today. I think you was in Chicago.
Nah, we didn't make it. We didn't go to Chicago. We the brothers here, they end up getting the building together, with some new brothers cleaning it out and things like that. We got some brothers moving into barracks, so the brothers end up doing that today.
Okay, Salaki. Okay. And Trinidad, we're good on today. Trinidad. Yeah, I mean, Trinidad camp is usually Fridays, but every day is camp in Trinidad. Hell,
Like I said, the Lord gave me a washout, a good washout down here.
Good. That's I want the plains of Caroni to be flooding. To turn into the lagoon. For all those you don't know, that's the local oppressor settlements. Let them get some pressure.
Sure.
Say again?
I say we getting that for sure.
Yeah. The Lord is with us. As a people, we who doesn't be with him, but he be with us.
That's right.
He be like, look what I can do for them.
Right.
Yeah, I mean. So that's the wild. Yeah, I mean. You come through there like I was like, hold up. So like he said, he roll out. General, you still there, sir?
Yeah, he right here. He said we good to go.
Say again?
He said we good to go.
Most I encourage.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah, he had a good day, a good day today. And
yeah, good day. I had a field day down
yeah.
there today. He tell them about himself. Yeah, Jack, hero. I was trying to pull up the. Okay, yeah, this is it here. All right. So y'all know Chicago, end of the month. All right. End of the month. What's the date? This is for the lecture. So the lecture is going to be Friday afternoon. Commander General Yahanna, you know what I mean, is America on the brink of World War III. Friday afternoon. This is right after camp. Russia, China, Iran. What does it all mean? You all know you're going to get straight, live, and direct, unfiltered, pure as hell. And it's going to lay out the plan for, the future of not just America at this point, but of the world. You know what I mean? The future of the world, because right now, everything's sitting right there, ready to just flip over as the Lord wanted. You know what I mean? So, lecture is July 28th. July 28th, 1522 South Wabash Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60605, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, the powerhouse of Chicago. And hold on, let me make sure I ain't missing nothing. So, hold on. Is the Third World War coming, and what does this mean for Black and brown people? Just make sure, make sure we get it in. This lecture is going to be done by Commander General Yahanna himself, so y'all know it's notebook time. You know what I mean? This is y'all gonna get it straight. I'm not sure how. I ain't think they're gonna be streaming. I can't say for sure, but what I could say is if you're in the building, you're gonna be live. You know what I mean? If you're home, it might not be live, but if you're in the building, right? It's going to be live. I believe it's what, 30 per person? $30 a person ain't no big deal at all. $30 ain't nothing. That's 2 drinks at the happy hour for most people. You know what I mean? Two drinks and a tip for most people at the happy hour. Come and get, the truth, July 28th, 7 p.m. up there on Wabash Avenue, right? After that, we had the lecture party, 9 p.m. to 11:30, at the after party spot. Y'all stay tuned from 12 midnight to 3 a.m. You're going to hit our after party spot, Chicago. Chicago is always love, man. Always love. Always a good time. You know what I mean? Could never ever, Chicago always be good. I would advise everybody try to make it. It's like the best city to kick off the cookouts. You know what I mean? It really set the tone every single time. I've always been up there. Last year was, so right. You know what I mean? If you could put an AC over the city of Chicago, I'd be much pleased. If you could get one of them big 3,000 BTU units up in the sky over goddamn that lake. Because I'm going up north. I'm thinking, yeah, Chicago gonna be cool as shit. It's going up north. For the north you go, it's supposed to be cool. Bullshit. That lake effect. That lake effect is something else. It's gonna be a nice time up in Chicago, man. End of the month. Let's get it in. Powerful lecture coming through. You know what I mean? We're gonna rock it out. Is the other flyer there with the rest of the weekend? Yep, sir. Hold on. It's the same page? Hold on.
Yeah, as I saying that too, them them Christians, Muslims, you all should come out and see if your pastor, your preacher, or your imam, if they telling you in the future what's gonna happen. Match it up. Come out and see it, man. Because nobody goes into this Bible like Commander Jerry Yahanna.
That's right.
Decide, what's fitting to take place on this earth. Since I've been in here, whatever he said is come to pass to the Spirit of the Most High.
For sure.
Happen. You know what I mean? Ain't no joke and fun once he start to break that Third World War down for you. You know what I mean? Your pastor ain't doing it. He telling you to what? Pray for peace. You understand? He said, pray for peace. Peace for what?
Mm-hmm.
While you dying in the streets of America, you know what I mean, in the Caribbean, you getting killed at an alarming rate, and you want what? Peace? No. Come to that lecture, and you will see what peace, what real peace is all about.
You see how to really achieve peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The peace coming. The peace coming, but before that peace, you know, the Lord had to say his part. Right. For years, for years, everybody else gets to talk. You know, all the religions, the Muslims talk, the Christians talk, the Scientologists talk, the Rastafarians talk. Now is the Lord time to talk.
That's right.
You know, after the Lord talk, then we could be at peace. Now everybody could chill. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, you know what I mean? Now, I think this is the rest of the itinerary here, right? The Midwest Fire Weekend, right? The official itinerary. Thursday, 9909 Roosevelt Road, Suite 100, Westchester, Illinois. It's a scripture breakdown class, I believe. No, hold on, slack it. That's the Ask Ye the Prophets and breakfast. So at 10 a.m. Thursday morning, it's going to be 12 Children on my radio show. Ask Ye the Prophets, it combined with a breakfast. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's Thursday morning, right? Then Thursday night, Thursday evening rather, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I believe this is this year's Chicago time. I don't think this is Eastern time. I think this is Chicago time, right? So this 10 a.m. you see in here will be 11 a.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. in Chicago. The 6 p.m. you see in here will be 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. in Chicago. It'll be scripture breakdown. 12 Sheet Jeremiah Hyman doing scripture breakdown as usual on Thursday. You'll see after this Thursday, but I think, you know, I think at IUIC they had the people had to be jumping ship. They had to have ghosts flying through the hallways. They had to have so much rebellion, you know, in that damn house over a water bottle. Damn. So if you pass and you put water by the camp, they're gonna be call a bomb squad. They call the whole bomb squad for for the Sani, right? The Sani gonna make them niggas call
Bring the canine out to sniff.
Right, bring the sniffer dog for a case of water. Yeah, I mean, damn. Good night, that's what we doing. Then, of course, Thursday night, you'll know how it go. Cross the Line Radio, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. again, Chicago time. It'll be everything will be the usual time. It do come on Eastern time. So Cross the Line usually is 10 to 12 Eastern. In Chicago, it'll be 9 to 11. Right? Late night activity, 12 a.m. until late night activity usually mean UPK everywhere. All over, you know, just everywhere, rocking it out. And see, even the dog know.
Yeah, that's
Friday. Friday. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was saying the same thing you're saying. That dog trying to gain in.
Now that dog know what time it is. He know when to, you know. That is sound effects right there. That horn, you know. Yeah, he busting the horn there. Right, then Friday I camp downtown Chicago on the Magnificent Mile. Right, the Magnificent Mile. I mean that camp spot that's a ridiculous camp spot that Mount Quad got right there. That's an insane spot. Again, I advise you come on down from Thursday, man. If you could do it from Wednesday. You know what I mean? Stay over so you wake up Thursday for that breakfast and the Ask You the Prophet show. Right? Friday camp downtown Chicago, Magnificent Mile from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. You know what I mean? Be rocking it out around about that time. You know, UPK go. We might be out there, you know, a few hours later because everybody want to ask the prophets a question. You know what I mean? Thursday going to have Ask You the Prophets, the show. Then they're going to be Ask You the Prophets, you know, in live, in the flesh, on the street. Right? Right after that camp, again, it's Commander Yahanna lecture at 1522 South Wabash Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You know what I mean? $30 per person for the lecture. Y'all support that lecture. Come on down, drop that in, man. Drop that money in, drop that funds in. Y'all see where this earth is going. Y'all see where this world is going. $30 for the knowledge of the future is, I mean, I think you getting that ain't even a deal. That's, you know, you're getting a giveaway. You know what I mean? 30 for the knowledge of the future. That's ridiculous right there. You know what I mean? Shit. If you're not coming, send the 30 in. Call Chicago, find out how to send it in. Like that's the level we gotta reach now. We gotta reach that level where if you can't make it, you sending something in. A ton of sisters always asking, you know, why we can't be in the camp. You can't be in the camp, but you could send some camp funding. You could send some money to build some signs and to get the brothers there and bring food in. You ain't got to physically be there to do the work, right? There's brothers who is here who gonna do the work, you know, on behalf of the whole nation. But if you can't be here, you can't do it yourself. You know, you can't do it for whatever reason, man. You whatever you could do in the weekend, you getting your funds in. You break piece of that off. You send your tithes in, and then send something else in after, man. So even if you can't be there, you should be there. But if you can't be there, still send it in. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then what we have next? I think. Hold up. Let me see if I could go next. Yeah, there's the next one right here. There's the rest of it. Saturday is the Bantu Festival. 11:30 midway. What's that word? Plaisance. Taking me to the south of France. No. Yeah, taking me to the south of France. You know, croissants and plaisance. Right? 11:30 midway Plaisance, Chicago, Illinois, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Right? The Bantu Festival is like a street expo almost, with, you know, tens of different vendors. It's like, you know, I forget how much blocks they lock off, but it's like just a huge, just like a black village. That's the best way I could put it. A big black village with, you know, that's blocked off for us. You know, tents and different people with their merchandise or whatever it is they offering for the black community is going to be there. You know, the brothers keep telling me about all the meat that's going to be there. They say. Somebody co-sign in the spirit right there. Got choice cuts, prime ribs. You get it, boy, prime rib. You know what I mean? On the left hand, on the right hand. You get it, boy? So, you know, whatever you like. You know what I mean? Make your way down there for the Bantu Festival. Lord knows they need some help too. They need some help. They need to come in the truth. You know what I mean? Bring some bottles of water while you're out there too. Yeah, they might be thirsty. Right? And then Saturday night, late night activity, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. to be announced. You'll stay tuned. You know, somewhere in Chicago we're going to be going. Last year, I think Marquardt took us to a spot. Real top class treatment in that spot right there. You know what I mean? UPK was, you know, it was absolutely amazing out there. Good time for sure. So I don't know where he's gonna have us going this year, but Chicago is always Tawab. You know what I mean? And Sunday is the Black and Brown Cookout event at the Garfield Park, 3631 West Lake Street, Chicago, Illinois, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. I don't know if this is the same place as last year.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Last year that event at that spot was real nice too. I don't know how much people remember. It was a real nice patch of, you know, laid out type of grass, another kind of lake or something on the far side. It was a real nice area and cut. You know what I mean? It was real Tawab. So it's going to be insane from July 27th to the 30th. You know what I mean? If you have any questions or need more help, 312-837-8022 or 708-417-0706. Again, for the Midwest Fire Weekend, man. Midwest Fire Weekend. We're going to be up there at the end of the month, letting Chicago know what it is, what it was, and what it will be.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my Chicago lingo, my smooth lingo on, you know? The Chicago niggas, they can talk right out. You know what I mean? So that's about it. And that's just the beginning. There's many events UPK going to be having throughout in your zones. Midwest Cookout, East Coast Cookout, Southern Cookout, West Coast. You know what I mean? So many things going to be happening that, you know, Commander General Yahanna and generals put together for Israel. So you'll come out, man. You'll come out, you'll support. You know what I mean? Let's get it on. Enjoy the brotherhood. Most of us, that's the only time we get to see certain of our brothers and sisters because they live so far away. You know what I mean? If not for the Chicago spot, it's only Passover and Chicago cookout. I would see some brothers and sisters from Milwaukee or Minnesota. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's good to make that journey, make that trek. So you'll make sure and get involved. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So that's it. That's it. So where we at? Where we going today?
There's some good stories there too.
Yeah, definitely have some good ones inside.
I don't know if you're Saturday with the grandmother and them trying to take the land from her. I don't know.
We could save that one for a little later, though.
And the one with the boy, 14-year-old boy, and the guy and the man getting shot, arguing in the hot dog stand.
Yeah, definitely. We could definitely kick off with that one. If you're on, unless there's another one. I definitely want to. The other one. There's one here that's not on the list. That's with the sheriff in Mississippi that did the home invasion and held them brothers hostage and tortured them brothers for 2 days, I believe.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Definitely want to get to that one too before we close off tonight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, big up on everybody who on the YouTube and the Facebook always rocking with us every Saturday. Appreciate you all coming through. Y'all don't forget like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Like, share, and subscribe. Share the live, share the channel.
That's right.
Yeah, and share the channel, Salaki. All right, all the haters on the inside, you know, you're gonna be blocked. You're gonna be blocked shortly. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to you as soon as I see you. You're gonna be blocked real shortly. All right. So so that's it. You know what I mean? We could definitely start with that first one. And then we could jump around. You know what I mean? We could jump around.
Concert. Woman files lawsuit after charges against her and son dropped in West Pullman restaurant shooting.
Wait, she filed a lawsuit?
Yeah, that one.
What's the name of the restaurant?
The name of the restaurant is
West Pullman Restaurant?
Yeah, West. Yep. That's the area.
Oh, okay. I think it's a mobile restaurant, right?
I think mobile or Arab, if I'm mistaken.
It's crazy.
A Chicago woman has filed a lawsuit after charges against her and her son were dropped in a deadly shooting at a Southside restaurant. Carlicia Hood, 35, was flanked by her attorneys in Bronzeville during a news conference where they announced that they have filed a complaint against the city of Chicago and 5 police officers. They claim Hood was falsely arrested and maliciously prosecuted, and that she has also suffered emotional distress. On June 18th of this year, my life changed. My son's life changed, Hood said. Never in a million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested. This comes after the Cook County State's Attorney's Office dropped all criminal charges against her and her 14-year-old son. The charges stemmed from an incident at a hot dog stand on June 18th in the 11600 block of South Halstead Street.
Right. I think most people by now should be familiar with the story. This is the sister right here. This is her at the press conference where she made those statements. But I think most people familiar with what happened where sister was, brutally assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
She was brutally assaulted. while going to buy some food. You know what I mean? And it done did what it usually does in the black community, because we so closely tied in with the oppressor, where now this is turning into a damn near gender battle. You know what I mean? With this situation here. You know what I mean? This situation here is now you hearing, different opinions from different sides, from both sides of the genders, because of, again, the oppression both genders face. You know what I mean? You read the comments on some of these videos, sisters are going all the way off, but they're going off, but it's slanting towards you black men wagging the finger. And brothers is going off on the situation, and it's slanting towards these black women, XYZ, when the understanding of the whole thing is what you're lacking, because we don't have the spirit of the Lord. We watching everything through the Esau's lens.
Right.
You know what I mean? We watching everything through the oppressor's lens. Go ahead.
And if I could say something too, this shows basically that the oppressor, whatever he has done to turn us against each other, you clearly see it's working for him. Black men now hate black women hate black men. It's almost like, whatever he is doing, he knows it's working just by what happened in this store. You understand? We both oppressed in this place, and we both react to things differently. And now it's, now it's, the division is so much there now that a black man will rather go and have an interracial marriage, or a sister will rather go have an interracial marriage, and use this as the reason for it. When this should bring us closer together. Not drive us apart. You understand? But your preachers, they ain't gonna know how to deal with this. The imams, they ain't gonna know how to deal with this. You know what I mean? Only the men in One West, we know how to deal with this situation. You understand?
Con, if I could, they are pushing. I know for a fact they pushing it hard. They furthering the divide hard. I clicked on one a couple days ago. I clicked on one video of a sister talking about, I forgot what it was. It's something about like dating, like, women like this in dating, right? So I clicked and watched it, checked to see what the sister was talking about. The next thing I know, my entire timeline was flooded with all these relationship guy, male talking thing, all these talking heads, YouTube influencers who beefing over everything with come to dating. I'm like, God damn, where all my shit I normally watch? they just retook my whole YouTube timeline. So they really big on the internet with the oppressors pushing these, dating things. Because like Cap said, they further in the divide. They see it. They've been pushing it. Women now are loose. That's what the Christian church been on for the last many years. Now it's going into the other spheres. It's all on the other spheres. It's trying to, be on everything. So, only the Spirit of the Lord really pushes through all that. Because if you're not pushing through with the Spirit of the Lord, you're not One West. You can get beguiled by it. Like you can get caught up in the dating game is so hard. It's so hard to date. It's women acting like this, the men are acting like that. They're not trying to pay for the meal. They trying to get you out the meal. You'll get caught up in all that madness if it ain't for One West.
Right.
If it wasn't for One West, we'd be caught up in all that madness. And the oppressor be sitting there the whole time, sitting behind and pressing both parties.
Yeah.
So the oppressor does things. You think he's being like super conniving, which he is, but he just does things like that naturally. It's just something in him that naturally wants to do things like that. When he see a black man and a black woman together, he naturally wants to go against it. He naturally doesn't like it. It's something he doesn't. He don't like. Whatever level he's at, if he's a CEO YouTube, or if he's the one pushing the churches, whatever one of them, they just don't like it, and they're going to do something against that. because they don't see it. They don't like seeing strong black man with a strong black woman, a black family. He knows that's, to him, it's a threat. He's like an animal. He not like humans. You know what I mean? He like an animal. He see, bigger dog than me. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Bigger animal, stronger animal than me. That's a problem. It's a threat. That's how he sees you, black man, when you with a black woman. That's how he sees us together. And he ain't never going to stop. So like I said, without One West, it wouldn't be no further breaking this divide down, because the oppressor's going to keep coming at it, and we too simple to even think about it or know and fully understand it. It takes the spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
Definitely, absolutely. You're right there. Like UPK is the filter everybody need to be able to see what really is going on.
Mm-hmm.
God, and if I could say one more thing too, we the force against this stuff, this divisive stuff. I was listening to a Clubhouse and others. I be seeing things on the internet also now, trying to be like multiple wives. Like now it's more and more it's kind of being pushed more like mainstream, or like something that a lot of people are accepting or trying to get with. But you can thank the UPK for that, because since 1969, wasn't nobody teaching or talking about no multiple wives in the black community. You can't even say the Muslims, because they was on a whole nother thing and they wasn't pushing it or talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was like a secret thing for them to do it and this and that, because really them women just being whores 9 times out of 10, and they're just sleeping with all type of women. UPK is the one that brought that knowledge out about multiple wives.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So whenever you seeing it, we see it.
Right.
You'll see it more in the world now. But it's good because it's coming from us. It's coming from the West. We the engine that's fighting against all this evil wickedness. We the stream of righteousness that's going against this wickedness. A lot of people don't see it, but you do see it, because it's affecting your life in a good way, even though you don't even know it. That's why when Captain Mashak was saying support to UPK, send that $30 in. Even if you ain't gonna come to the lecture because you can't make it, send that money in, because this stuff making an impact larger than what you see, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, and it's affecting your life in a positive way. All right, but to this story, it definitely is a multiple dynamic story, like with many dynamics. You got the mother, you got the son, you got the black man. Really, that damn near could have been a family right there.
Mhm.
But they fighting and arguing and shooting each other. So, it's a heavy story. It's so layered and everything like that to really unpack the whole thing. Hey, it could be a 3-part series.
It's going, it's definitely good. It's as you say, it's so layered. We're gonna go into some of it tonight, not all, because there's some other things on the table, but it's for sure layered. Because you're trying to jump in.
Couple comments, if I may, sir. And just what Captain Kappa, just to build on what he was saying. Okay, the divide that exists, because like he said, I'm on TikTok. Anywhere online, you can see that there is a clear and intentional divide between black men and women. And when I get on these TikTok lives with a lot of these large content creators, what I've noticed is when we actually get to talking with each other, it's like the divide that we're told exists. When we get to talk to each other, it's like, okay, this is not the reality. It's not it. Like when we get to sit down, and I've done it many times on TikTok lives, on different platforms, where it's like now the sisters are talking and the brothers are talking. And it's like, well, damn, what's really the issue?
Right.
Like we agree the same. We have the same thoughts. We both want the black women and black men both want strong black families. So we have the same ambitions, but somewhere along the line, we've been told that now there's a divide. And what you can do is you can blame that on the Christian church.
Right.
The Christian church is the divide in the black community. And the Christian church is the divide in the black community because it doesn't teach the Bible. The Christian church doesn't give real life practical solutions to when you encounter real life problems. Singing and dancing wouldn't save that brother's life in that damn restaurant. It wouldn't have stopped that sister from getting beat. It wouldn't have stopped that 14-year-old from having the blood of another man on his conscience for the rest of his life.
Right.
Singing and dancing in that church never fixed anything. And furthermore, the doctrine of Christianity is the reason why we are not a cohesive unit. The Christian church has taught us to be against each other. The Christian church has made black men weak and effeminate, and it has made sisters absolutely just callous and rough and hard.
And Salakia, thing just Salakia continue here. We're saying it's so heavy and it make them women power hungry. You understand?
Right.
This Christian church. And as
Right.
it's saying too with the Christian church, when you have to share your love with another nation, as the Bible is saying, you gotta hate one and love the other. And you're clearly seeing who we love. Salakia, because what you're saying is, totally, on point.
Both side Christ said, no, you're absolutely right, sir. And just like you said, and really what it boils down to is like everybody's talking about the so-called how do we fix it spiritually. Everybody's offering the solutions, but nobody's talking about the root. Black people need a moral standard. We need a moral, a spiritual standard. Well, now we come back to we all agree that this is right and this is wrong, and we don't decide amongst ourselves. It's already been decided. We have to come back to what was laid out before us, and that's the Bible. And the ISUPK follows the paths of old according to the Bible. It tells us how we conduct ourselves amongst each other. You understand? Like in the world, I would have been on the side of this brother, like, yeah, hit that broad in the head. You understand? She should have stopped talking. In the world, that's how, I can remember feeling and being in that position. But coming to the truth and getting the wisdom from men above me that's better than me, it's like I can see, like you said, Captain Kapash, there's just many different layers to this situation, but it boils down to that we are destroyed because we have terrible leaders in this Christian religion and the politics and the entertainers. We have terrible leaders, and they haven't prepared us to how to deal with each other, man, in real life practical solutions. Right. So, like,
go ahead,
Yeah, and again, just looking at the platform that we own here, and as a reflection, seeing as we say, young and strong black men, really bringing out this truth, and this is why again we always say, to all the Commander General Yahanna, because now with that reflection that we see and we understand that color does matter, and without a righteous father figure over our head, we would not understand that color really matters. And that is why, again, brothers and sisters should really get into class and tune into, every platform at the ISUPK. Because now with that platform, now, you say, is a learning tool for each and every one of us. And really, this is the only solution. So, like,
right. No, you're right. You're right about that. Like it's like as you say, it's a learning situation where, and it's so sad that the way we have to learn as a people is through death and tragedy. Right? Like that's the way we have to learn as a people. Is through death and tragedy. It's very sad that that's the state we're in. But as you say, like we have to relearn and re-educate ourselves with everything because I'm looking for the tape now just to play just the part before the brother swing. Okay. I believe this is a Moabite restaurant or some kind of heathen. And if you could find the tape, Kazak, that would be absolutely so wild. And as they arguing and or the brother yelling and she saying her part or whatever, what I noticed for sure is that there was not a man in trial. If I could get that scripture in Genesis, so what? Give me Genesis. Give me Genesis 2 and 1, right? Give me Genesis 2 and 1, please.
Right?
2 and 2. I'll tell you where to read on. All right. Like they go in and the person, I don't want to say the clerk, whoever is the restaurant person who taking the order, you could see them in the back. They're busy, like they're working, and they don't even give a damn that this is an altercation happening here. You understand? Like they don't even like this is going to mess up my money. They ain't even thinking about it. Right? You understand what I'm saying? They're not even thinking about the whole thing. Right? You know what I mean? You have it up?
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
Right. Go
Can,
ahead, keep
verse
going
2.
on, please. Just keep
Verse
reading.
3. Verse 3. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, and because that in it he had rested from all his work which God had created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth, which they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. And he planted the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground.
You understand? So now the
But
Lord
they,
seeing that there was not a man to till the ground.
Hmm.
Right? So now from what you know in the UPK, there not being a man to till the ground, the Christian church would tell you that there was no man there ever. Right? There was no man there ever, and that's not the same thing. It's there was man on the earth all the way before. You get it? When you read Genesis chapter 1, verses 24 to 26, you'll see that the Lord created man, male and female, he created he them. Right? In his image and likeness. And let us create man in our image and likeness. He created male and female. He created a human race on day 6. On day 7, he rested. But on day 7, he gave one man authority and dominion. And when it says there was not a man to till the ground, there was not a man who had authority and dominion to put things in place, to have things in order, to put things here and there and say the horses is to be ridden and the chickens is to be eaten and not the other way around. You get the point? There was not a man to do that. So now Adam, he gave Adam the knowledge, the wisdom and the knowledge. He gave Adam the Holy Spirit. So Adam became that man, and that first man with the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, not the first man on the earth. So now as I'm watching this tape as well, you can see here, this is the sister she ordering. And of course, she started turning to talk to somebody, and this is the guy here. Now, in the back here, this looks like a Moabite to me. Now, I don't know.
Man, it's a damn Moabite. Something.
You understand what I'm saying?
Look like.
Now, there's people. Listen, there's people in line. There's at least 3 people because one person is holding the phone. Then there's this person with this blue shirt. Then there's an older brother right here. And then there's this look like a Moabite spotter. Even the whole, it's tacky, nowhere to sit down, the menu high up. It just looked like one of them old Moabite spots where just, what you want, just hurry up. You get the point?
Right. No bathroom.
And this is what's going on here. And you're seeing what's going on. Shit. Another person there, we just see their elbow. And nobody you see, he look up. Look, the cook in the back there, he just looked up. And just went right back to working. You see it?
Yeah, Cap. Because more than likely, there's a norm with what's going on inside there with people coming and arguing. So it's
it might be, but okay, not just people coming in and argue. I ain't seeing anybody looking like the cook in the line.
That's it.
So this is our people coming in there.
Yeah.
And the point I'm trying to make is, okay, we for sure destroyed because nobody stepped in, but this is your goddamn establishment. You not stepping in. You're not trying to protect your money because you don't give a damn what black people do to each other, which is why it's so important that the Lord give a man authority and dominion over the earth. In this restaurant, there was not a man to till the ground. Right? There was not a man physically present who would step in. It was the older brother. He didn't have to step in and try to fight this man, but he could for sure step in and talk some sense to this young boy. You know what I mean? He could still do that. And on the flip side, if there was a man who had in spirit had authority over that woman, she would have acted differently. She would have either left it and walked away, say, ain't no sweat, brother, you could have the last one. In fact, let me buy yours. Hey, chef, you know what? Forget my order. Give him the 2. I already paid. You got it, brother, and walk the hell off. There's so many ways this thing could have go the other way, where, you know, now we ain't just took 2 L's. Right. You know what I mean? We ain't just took a L all the way. What happened with the 14-year-old boy was unfortunate, but he had no other choice. He was absolutely right to do what he do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This brother here, he should have never swung on that sister. Right. Never, never ever swung on that sister like that. However, there's so many, it's so, okay, as we say, it's so layered. But in it being so layered, there's one common factor. In math, they used to call it the lowest common factor or highest common factor or something.
Common denominator.
The common denominator. There's one thing there all the way throughout. And not just in this situation, but in other situations that's missing, which is a black man with the Spirit of the Lord who has complete and total authority over a situation. Right. That's what's missing right there. Right. Nobody who stepped in and say, hey, brother, you ain't gonna do that. Man, chill out, man. Come on, man. Let me buy you food. Let me buy you lunch. Even, listen, we walk into a restaurant or a club or somewhere and the mood just changed. Right. The mood in the whole place has changed because we look and see the presentation is so different because the Lord's Spirit is there. Right. What we're missing here is the Lord's Spirit and men who rule. You're missing the kingdom of heaven. You're missing the place where there's the Spirit of Christ, and you're missing the place where there's men who have the Spirit of Christ in them who want to rule. Right. That's why this tragedy happened here. Because this thing could follow this 14-year-old boy for Lord knows how long. You know what I mean? Lord knows how long. His family members gonna be mad it happened to him. Right. They're gonna say the usual thing, why you had to shoot him, this, that, the other, and they would not be as understanding. And meanwhile, look at the Moabites in the back. Look at the Moabites in the back. The dog is just there to lick the wounds of the poor man lying at the gate. Right. Lying at the gate. He could provide food for us when we're hungry, but he couldn't provide judgment to save a life. Right. He couldn't say, hey, I'm shutting the kitchen down if you all don't stop this. Right. He could have did so much. Yeah. He could have did so much, but then again, why we have to rely on him to police us? Right. Where is our strong black men who we bound up? Give me that too. Give me Mark 3:27.
I got a scripture too. So
please, go ahead.
Oh man, if you can give me the stability. I'm about to pull it. Let me see. Stability. You know what scripture I'm talking about?
Stability of the time.
I wasn't trying to say too. I think it's Isaiah 30. Isaiah 33:6. I ain't want to say too much of it.
No sweat.
Go.
Man, we just need this right here, man. We need this. Are we talking about, this, talking about our people getting into this and into the real truth about the matter, into the psyche about the matter. We need this. Like, this is a wake up call for our people. Like, this should wake us up. So I can go ahead.
If I could, let me just get a scripture in Mark, and I'm gonna get you right back. All right.
Yes, come on. So
Mark 4:3.
Because I have it here. So what? No sweat. I think 3:27. Go ahead.
Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods.
And do what?
And spoil his goods.
And do what?
And spoil his goods.
Now that's so heavy. Like, no man could enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods. Right. Like, look at the screen. Our goods is spoiled now. Like, this sister there, she, whatever she's saying to him, it couldn't be audible. The only thing I heard is when she tell the young boy, go in the car. Right. And the brother is like, who go in the car? Who go in the car? He already cocked all the way back, weight back on 1 foot, fist clenched. And everybody's just watching, including our generation, the older generation, who go always complain about the young, right? Always complaining about the young, and right there and didn't do nothing about it. Nothing. Right. Then you had the heathen in our midst doing nothing. Our goods are spoiled because you don't want toxic masculinity. Right. You reject toxic masculinity. You don't want a man to just rule and have dominion over everything. You rather this. The absence of a man or the spirit of that man there is this thing here.
Right.
And this thing is more, this happens all the time.
Right.
This happens all the time. Listen, only because this sister, it seemed like she a little educated and she have a little good job and it seemed like she a little situated in Esau's society that it's, you know, it's going how it needs to go for her. But for sure, this happens in other situations and everybody just go to jail. Everybody just, you know, just get torn up. But our goods are spoiled because, go ahead.
And select.
Go ahead, come on.
Let's show one thing in with what you're saying, which is on, you know, I mean, you're saying it also too. Like the common denominator, more than likely, also too, based on the interaction between this man and this woman, is the lack of father in that house.
That's it.
You understand? That's, you know, I mean, one of the common denominators also to a variable.
That's it. No, that's it. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, okay, I'm just not limiting it to like a physical father, because fathers come in many forms. But there's no physical man with authority present, and there's no spirit of that man present. Meaning, when I say the spirit, he could have had a father figure that taught him not to be this way, and even though that father figure is not there, he knows he can't do this because of it. You get the point? Just like in here, you know at camp, you know if you do and say certain things, you have a report to give after. And you already know just saying it back, being accountable to somebody who you respect, it goes a long way. It's like gasoline. It's like good high-grade gasoline for the low price. You could travel far with that because now this thing is your conscience right there, always in your ear. You're hearing it. The teachings is coming back to you. And the same thing with her. Right. It's the same situation with her where now, if it is, I have to explain this to my husband. My husband ain't going to want me treat no brother like this. My husband ain't going to want me to do this. In fact, my husband, he don't even like me spending money with these damn heathens. You know what I mean? We better go home and I try to put something together or go across town by the Issacharite spot and go in there and, you know, get some tacos or some birria or something else. You get the point? Like, it's the whole absence of a male figure with authority, either physically there or in spirit. Right. And this is really the spirit of Christ I'm talking about. Right. And everybody in here is Christian, and it's totally foreign to them. That's right. Yeah. It's absolutely totally foreign to them. How do you know somebody loves one man loves a brother loves a brother? He who lays down his life for his brother. Right. Nobody decided to intervene on their behalf. A child had to intervene. Right. Like that's where we're at. Our goods are so spoiled. A 14-year-old, 2 years into teens. 2 years ago, he was 12. Right. A 14-year-old is the one who had to step in there and bring sense to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adults. And you hate the UPK because we too this and we too that. The UPK will save your life. Right.
That's right.
It'll save your funeral money. It'll save your court fees. It'll save your child support. It'll save your STDs. It'll save you everything that you're enjoying in this life. But this thing here was so disappointed where there was no intervention. None. You know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you remember a few years ago. It got to be 2 or 3 years ago, where this brother in the New York subway went up to this sister and hugged her as if that was his girlfriend and began to take her off the subway. And this girl was not his. Didn't even know him. I think she was homeless or, probably, little delinquent or whatever it was. But he looked on the fact that our goods were spoiled and tried to take this girl to go sexually assault her. Right. And as he coming off the train, I think she was saying something or somebody saw it and intervened. No, I think he walked all the way off with her and they called him after. And nobody did nothing. Even in Philly last year, where the brother sexually assaulted the girl on the train and people did nothing. And now when we on the street, you have a problem. You speaking with too much hate. I bet you wish we was in this goddamn restaurant, though. I bet you wish we was on that train, though. Right. I bet you wish we present everywhere the violations happen, whether it's with our people or the oppressor. Right. Whether it's with our people or the oppressor. Let me tell you something. The UPK is not the hero you want, but we are the monster you need.
That's right.
That's right.
You understand? We ain't that knight in shining armor and the blonde hair and come on, Rapunzel. No, we not the hero you want, right? But we goddamn monster you need.
That's right.
In your life.
Right.
That's right.
That's who we are. Please read on.
Come on, sir. Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man.
Except he will first bind the strong man. Brother, this whole thing here is our strong man is bound up. This brother here is a strong man physically, right? But he is bound all the way up, right?
Mentally.
The older brother behind the sister right here, you could tell he's a man. He's bound up in that Christianity. You know, he's saving his life, even though he done live his whole life before everybody else. We done bound up because you prefer to have Eddie Long, to have Creflo Dollar. You prefer your men to be like that instead of the ISUPK and the Command and Journey Yahanna. That's who you prefer. Right.
That's right.
You prefer that type. You prefer that soft type, that passive type that lets you violate yourself with the sin that you love.
Right.
And in the same breath, that soft type will let somebody else violate you the same way.
That's right.
You get the point? And all the while in the back out, I'm looking at the chef. The chef ain't missed a goddamn beat. I guarantee they're open right now. I guarantee you they're open right now. And with all the publicity and the social media pundits, with the male versus the female, the gender wars, with all that going on, nobody is blaming this goddamn Moabite. I don't know. I ain't never heard about anybody getting shot in Issacharite spot, in the Zebulonite spot, in the Benjamite spot. I think we'll look after it. Hey, none of that in here. Man, go outside with that. None of that's in here. But they don't give a damn, man. They don't give a damn. To them, this is like two dogs fighting over a bone. And you ever see anybody stop in the street to part two stray dogs? You tell them, move, get out, go on the side and fight. But there's nobody, there's no strong man here. You need toxic masculinity more than you think.
That's right.
More than you think. You need somebody who, even if they're not physically there to stop it, you need their spirit to rule.
Right.
You need their spirit to be like, man, I can't, even though the sister done pissed me off. You know what, sis, where's your husband? Let me talk to him. That was one of the coldest questions I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. So
I was taught it in here, and then I heard Commander General Yahanna say it on the street. Remember, Christ asked that woman at by the well, where's your husband? And I heard Commander General Yahanna say it on the street. And that's a good cut if you having a battle with a woman. And I'm not saying this woman here was at fault. I don't know how it started, but I know how it could have ended. You could ask her, you find she out of order? Where's your husband? Who's your husband? Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him, because I don't, how you acting here, that ain't right. But this thing here, brother, I'm looking at this thing here. There was enough time to intervene on some shit. There was enough time. Listen, we don't make public most of these stories, but there's brothers in here stood in the middle of straight up shootouts. There's brothers in here watched family members draw guns on each other, and the brothers did not know them. They in the parking lot parking, walk into their house and step in front of them and say, brothers, y'all don't need to do this, and talk them down with the guns. You looking for heroes, Ark. You look in the UPK. You look right here.
That's right.
This thing here, brother, I'm looking at it, I'm like, nobody did nothing. Y'all put all this weight on a 14-year-old. Now, let's say this 14-year-old goes left from this and decides to terrorize Chicago in the next 10 years. 7 people in that store did nothing to prevent it. And then you'll turn around and blame the youth. You'll turn around and blame this generation this and this generation that. What the hell y'all doing? Y'all was there. This wasn't a home invasion. This wasn't just him and her walking home at night.
All right. And Cap also too. Like we gotta start blaming them Christian pastors. You gotta start blaming them churches, them mosques. You know what I mean? They've been around for years, and it's been a constant moral decay when it comes to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians society. Constant. It ain't like, you know what I mean, like it's leveling out. It's constant decline. You understand? You gotta start blaming them and stop trying to put the blame on the youth. You understand?
100%. 100%. You know what I mean?
Khan, if I could, would you say it on that as heavy? Because what they do is they try to blame it on, like how Cam Kahan brought out many times before. They try to blame it on the, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, hell. Even if they try to blame a 30-year-old or whatever. A 30-year-old only been an adult for 10 years.
Right.
You talking about somebody who's only been an adult for 10 years. But that Christian church has been on that corner for 250 years.
Oh, man.
Collecting money. So who you gonna blame? You blaming somebody with 10 years in the game, but it's this church who's collecting money every week consistently from that same community is not a force in that community for anything. Like you couldn't, if you get falsely arrested and framed by some cops, the church don't even have lawyers on payroll to help you. Like that, a lawyer should be automatic lawyers. You talking about a damn public defender? There should be a Christian defender. There should be an army of lawyers already paid and ready to help Black, Hispanic, and Native American people for every legal issue. But that's because we dealing with somebody who don't care about you, who don't care about us. These Christian leaders, they don't set up nothing for the people.
That's right.
This is what we've been trying to tell you, ISUPK. We've been trying to tell you for so many years that your leadership, the Bible said it first. The gates languish. Your leadership, the men that's over top of you, your politicians, your blackety black ass politicians, your black pastors, these are leaders. But when we're dying, they're flying on jets. then they don't see this. We're not used to real leaders, so we don't know what a real leader is supposed to look like. When the white man losing jobs, they don't say, "Oh, white man ain't shit. White man ain't this." They say, "Well, what's the president? It's the president's fault. We need more jobs." They don't blame the workers. So, but we don't blame black leadership for nothing. They don't get the blame for nothing. It don't matter what it is. The blame never goes to them, but all the money goes to them. All the buildings gone to them. All the fancy cars done went to them. All your trust is in them. But they can't be held, like Captain Mashak was just bringing out. They can't be held accountable for nothing. Like, when are they going to be held accountable? When are we going to say, all right, let's bring out the city's horrible, the crime is out of this world, the community's destroyed, we need somebody to blame. When are you going to blame the people that's supposed to get the blame? When you going to pull these $1 million fat cat pastors? When you going to put them on the chopping block? ISUPK, we're going to put them on the chopping block. Them heads got to roll.
That's right.
Heads got to roll. If I could get one scripture, Isaiah 33:6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
That's it. It ain't no strength. It ain't no bravado. It ain't no, oh, I'm gangster, I'm tough, or none of that. None of that shit's gonna work anymore. None of that's gonna work. Yeah, lots of brothers who tried it. Lots of tough guys, lots of gangster guys, lots of street guys, and they all been destroyed. The only thing there's gonna be the stability is knowledge and wisdom of the Lord. So
Kapash, if I could interject right there, like what Kapash just laid out is beyond any black leadership office.
That's
I
right.
have never heard of any black organization outside of the UPK, of course. I'm talking about the ones that everybody knows, the NAACP, the Greek this, the Greek that has a retainer of lawyers, just, like insurance. That has, a network of doctors' offices and dentists for black people, not for your fellow Alpha or Kappa man, not for, the front row of New Birth Ministries. I'm talking for the nation. Because the Jewish man has that. The Chinese man has that. Like, while you say something there okay, it's so common sense. It seems so just like normal. Right. You have a dog. You're gonna find a vet for the dog, a dentist for the dog. Right. Some people purchase insurance in case the dog get out and unfortunately bite somebody. Right. You have a nation of people you sitting over. And we don't have our own pool of nothing, and you've been ruling for 200 years. I think, Kapaz, you done indict the Christian church out. Right. You done indict the Black Caucus. You lay the indictment down right at their feet. Right. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, we really, down there stuff, we naked out here.
That's right.
Like that's insane. Like I watch this tape over and over, and I'm like, I see what's going on here, but it's so much of a bigger problem than just them two. Right. It's so much of a bigger issue here than just them two, and and the fact that people who there did not intervene is, we are goods that are spoiled. And not having that man's spirit there, that spirit would convict that sister to not even argue with this brother. You know why? Because she don't even argue with her man in the house. She don't even argue with him. So how could I now come on the street and argue with a black man that looked just like my husband, just like my child's father? That my son is going to grow up to be just like him.
That's right.
I wouldn't even sweat it. And he the same way would look at her with the same sort of understanding when we totally void of it. And now let's say them two don't have it. You have other people there. And nobody did anything. Like this here is, this should have never happened. This is something that should have never happened. But for whatever reason, the Lord had it happen, boy. And it's a teaching tool. Like the Bible says, these things written aforetime is for our learning. The things written right now in real time is for our learning too. These things written in real time is for our learning as well.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, if I may, what you said was just so heavy. And here's the irony in that too, in that, this sister, okay, and I'm not putting the blame on her, but okay, because of what this 14-year-old boy had to do, like you almost guaranteed the trajectory for him to turn out like this brother. Broken, lost, destroyed. Right. Because everybody in there put the onus of blame of being the responsible one, the adult, on him. And he has blood on his conscience. Most people would never know what that's like to live your life having somebody else's blood on your hands.
Yeah.
That brother's going to live with that for the rest of his life. And he's going to fight that. And most likely, if he don't come in here, it's going to consume him. And he's going to live a life now of chasing that blood. And he's going to be destroyed just like this brother that beat his mother. And he's going to be, Lord, God forbid. But it's not far-fetched for him to be just like this man who he had to put down. Like, it's like really what has to happen, like all the captains are saying is we have to come back to having righteous men. Commander Yahanna said it, and it rings true. I post it every time I get a chance when it's relevant. We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house. That's what we need.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You so right. Because having that would have stopped this right here. Right.
That's right.
Having like a brother don't need to be physically present to check a situation.
Exactly.
You understand? To check a whole situation right there. Like not having black men around, you want to fix black community. There's another thing Commander Yahanna always say, and the generals. You want to fix the black community, fix black men.
That's right.
Everybody's trying to fix everybody else. You're fixing the kids, you're fixing these women, this, that, the other. You try that forever. Fix black men and watch the community too.
Right.
Fix black, Hispanic, and first people or the native people. Fix the males of that society and watch how it goes. How do I know that? Because America has over maybe 200 years, Rome before it, Egypt before it, has spent how much quadruple billions of dollars in destroying black men.
That's
and
right.
destroying the image and the spirit of black men.
That's right.
That's how I know fixing black men is the solution.
Right.
From the days of Egypt, destroying, stomping on the spirit of a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man has been, goal number one. They passed military budgets for Iraq, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. I want to see the budget for the propaganda that destroys the image of black men.
Right.
That's right.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the budget for that. I want to see the think tanks. I want to see the paycheck. I want to see the perks. I want to see the healthcare, the dental. I want to see the dollar signs behind the funding for destroying black men.
Right.
That's
what
right.
I want to see. Right. Because you destroy the black men and then black men's image. Because now you destroy black men, and like in anything, your human body even tries to correct itself.
Right.
Tries to realign, tries to regrow, regenerate. Over time, the generation you destroy will start realigning.
Yeah.
So now, even if they realign the image and the spirit of black men, you done stomp that out the earth too. So now nobody can talk or say nothing or call you the devil who you really are.
Right.
That's right.
You the goddamn devil, and really, ultimately, all this is your fault.
Right.
That's right.
All this is your fault. You stick some more bites in our neighborhood to feed us where we make the best chicken. Everybody in that shop should be buying from that system.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she should be the one. Can I take your order, sir? How you doing? Like, I don't know if you all remember when we did that Vice thing with HBO. The last stop we made, Commander Yahanna went to Philly to what's that brother? Is it Daniel Allah? I think it's Daniel Allah's father. He has a restaurant in Philly. And they did the last part of the filming in there. And the general was talking so much of how we need more of this, his type of restaurant, with a black woman coming out to take your order and bringing your food and catering to you, instead of this nonsense here. Right. Anytime you all see that, and it's so spiritual. The name of the damn series is Hate Thy Neighbor. Hate thy neighbor, and in the black restaurant, nobody gets shot. Right. But here, where you love everybody and God love everybody, somebody had to get shot. Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all better get up in the UPK quick, man.
That's right.
That's right.
When you see us on the corner and we yelling and hollering and raising hell, y'all better thank the Lord. Thank the living power you have that he gave you these men in this school to rage on a corner for you, so this shit don't happen in some store in your neighborhood. Don't happen to your son or your daughter. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I'm good there. I think I'm exhausted for the night. I think the rest of the stories. This story here pissed me off.
Me too, sir.
Pissed me off, brother. Pissed me the hell off. The whole thing is just, shut that place down. Had that been a Jewish man that gets shot in there, that restaurant, listen, you'd have been hearing, let me tell you something. They'd have come in there with the inspector. They'd have do an inspection on the kitchen. They'd have shut it down for, health violations.
Yep.
Not up to code, this, that, the other. And really, if that restaurant that was not up to code was not open that hour, that would not have happened. They'd have find some way to blame everybody else except the people involved. But because it's us, now we had to get into, well, it's the woman's fault, it's the man's fault, it's this, that, the other.
Yeah.
And now we for sure had her now. It's damn near like the situation with the cops, where you had to teach your sons and daughters to talk to the cops. It's the same. It kind of is the same way. The sister, for sure, everything could have been totally different here. Had the brother grown up different, the sister grown up different. But
That's it.
once you don't have men of the Lord there, in spirit or physically there, they're not going to listen to that. They're not going to know that. None of our women is getting into arguments with men in the street. That ain't happening. None of our children is getting into that. That ain't happening. None of our brothers how to do that. That ain't happening. Why? Because number one, in here, there's somebody you're accountable to.
That's right.
Number one. Number two, that's toxic masculinity, that Holy Spirit that you so scared of, it runs strong up in here.
That's right.
It runs strong and reigns supreme up in here. And we understand the consequences of actions.
That's
you
right.
Christians in the world, you also got them free and freedom and the freedom to do this, and you don't want to obey nothing. Go bury him then. And make sure that boy get the therapy he needs. Make sure that boy get the therapy he needs. It was absolutely ridiculous.
C'est la caisse.
Please,
yeah, just as General Hyman did in the breakdown that he did and all too.
Yep.
What stand out again? They didn't know or was taught how to be a parent. And that kind of trump everything, because now in here, you see what being a parent and raising children, could really bring forth. Because now, as you see, when you look at as you say, the children in the ISUPK, being brought up under parents, being taught, as the scripture say, how to train up a child, and this is something that our brothers and sisters, miss because of society and because of following the ways and teachings of this society. And again, the Lord always make a provision, because now in our records, he always say that he always lead a remnant to really lead we back or to bring me back, to the truth. And again, this is why, this platform is so important and relevant to our people in this time, and as you say, we always do and follow, the teachings of our forefathers. And as Paul make mention, he prayed that all Israel should be saved. And this is what the ISUPK under Commander General Yahanna has been doing since 1969.
Yep. You're so right. You're so right. Rashida Terry said he might have been high off dust. No way someone displays that level of anger towards a woman he does not know. Look at his other hand. He wanted to grab her. His behavior was not normal. Now, Rashida Terry, let me unpack your statement. And you're not right. You're not I'm wrong. You're absolutely right. He probably was under the influence of something. And you said it could be dust, right? Because of course I heard the sister say, go back to the car. She was talking to her son. And then he turned around and he said, who to the car? Send who, as if she was talking to him. I'll tell you what he was high of. Christianity.
That's right.
Which is the most powerful drug in the world. It's the most powerful dust. It's the most powerful rock. It's the most powerful weed. It's more strong than PCP, heroin. Christianity is what them rock and roll people were singing about in Hotel California. Right. You can check out, but you will never leave. You get the point? He was high off of that. Right? Then you said, no way someone displays that level of anger towards a woman. Why couldn't it be towards anyone? You understand? Now, this is the gender thing. This is the whole gender thing. And this is why this story is so pivotal and so important to us. Because while in this scenario, after investigations and all the things you're hearing, this sister probably was not in the wrong at all. Right. But in the general run of play of our regular lives, in 90% of the instances, our sisters do go over the edge with it. That's not a license to punch nobody. But what I'm saying is, when you say, no way someone displays that level of anger towards a woman he does not know. I've seen women display this level of anger towards men they don't know, women they don't know, and children they don't know, abortion. Right. So if we're going to talk about levels of anger towards a woman, if we is 2023 and everybody equal rights, right? Equal rights, a woman have as much rights as a man, then we had to talk about everything. We can't just say, nobody displays that level of anger towards a woman he doesn't know. When I've witnessed, we see it every day. Women displaying anger towards men they don't know all the time, children, other women they don't know all the time.
Right.
You get the point?
Mhm.
What we had to do is number one. Say
So,
again?
Salaki Cap. Journalists want to say something.
Yeah, please come on, Salaki, sir.
They don't understand it. These sisters don't understand it or what have you. You know what I'm saying? I was playing hooky the other day. You understand? Had to go to CVS. You know what I'm saying? You know what they doing in the CVS's in DC. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They walking in them joints and walking out or what have you. So I go in there, right? And so they riffing at the front door. I see the security guard, he got a gun on. And I see a brother, he got a mask, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, oh yeah, you know, I got the COVID or what have you. That's why I got the mask. And it's some other brother checking him, right? And it's another a sister behind the counter or what have you. So as I'm walking in the store trying to get this MoneyGram off or what have you. I look at the brother again, this checking the brother with the cart and got the mask on or what have you.
Right.
And the nigga had fringes on his t-shirt. Right? And so she tell me to go and get on the machine to try to get my MoneyGram or what have you. So it's a little Arab in there too, right? This is right straight up in the hood.
Right.
So as I'm sitting there, I'm trying to figure what the hell is going on. So the brother with the fringes on, it wasn't purple, but it was fringed on a t-shirt.
On the t-shirt.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Let me keep going. So I went over to MoneyGram, and so the brother with the fringes walked out the store. And so the other brother started shopping again. And so the security guard started following him, right? The sister behind the thing. And she like, did you get it to work? I was like, nah, I don't know what's going on with this machine or what have you. So the brother walked down a couple aisles. The Arab and the brother is, tailing him. He pull up in the middle lane that's right behind where I'm standing, and she see him sticking something down his shirt, right? So she gets on the phone, start calling the cops. And I'm like, here we go. So the brother, he get mad, you understand? And he get mad and come up to her and start riffing with her and the security guard. Security guard got a full gun on his young brother. Got a full gun. I was like, they must not have watched the TV the other day. They must not have been in General Muhammad's class on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Because you would not be acting like this toward each other. So the brother, you understand? The brother start talking to the cop, and he just decides, you called the police on me. You called the police on me. And of course, he take the motherfucking cart and walk right out the goddamn door.
Damn.
Right out the door, down the street, or what have you. So I finally was getting ready to walk out of the store because I couldn't figure out the machine and walk up to her and she was like, yeah. I was like, I already did that part. And she was like, looked at the machine, my name on the machine. She calling out my name. And I was like, I ain't even tell you my name. Meaning she didn't even do her job. She was too busy trying to get the brother. I was like, you going to tell me what happened? What happened? She was like, oh, that's my man's, the brother with the fringes on that work in the building playing rent-a-cop as per usual. You understand? He know me, the thief. He threatened me before. They don't understand what the hell going on. What did General Muhammad say the other day? He said, go get a new goddamn job.
That's right.
You know what's going on. You working there all day. You gonna go get him, the beef with him. You understand? Like, we ain't listening. We ain't learning nothing. All of that, you understand? Because he cussed her out a couple other times when he came in there to steal. She mad because they gonna come, all the other ones is gonna come in there because he done walked away with this whole grocery cart full of stuff or what have you. So we ain't getting the lesson at all
No.
with these interactions between these women on these jobs, barking like a pit bull for the white man, and so or some Arab manager who ain't saying nothing. You
Right.
understand, brother? If he would have approached the brother, he would have knocked him out, straight up and down. That's what's going on out in these streets, and nobody can make sense of it. You understand? Besides us, the UPK or what have you. He trying to do the same thing that the goddamn sister doing. A
Right.
flipped up rent a cop. Man, I'm tired of it.
That's right.
Listen, you're down here, for sure. Like that what the general just broke down there. That scenario is like a traveling play, a stage play that happening everywhere, in every convenience store, grocery store, corner store, everywhere where we meet. Right. It's happening, and it's is the same thing. It's the same story. A woman, a man, frustrated oppression, a heathen there benefiting off of everybody, and no strong black men of the ISUPK or the spirit of black men from the UPK, which is the spirit of Christ, is devoid of it. And that's what, and it's going to get worse. It is absolutely going to get worse. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Salakia.
Salaki, they continue on your cap too, but what you're saying is, so heavy, and I hope brothers and sisters really listening to what you're saying. You know what I mean? Which, to the point whereas we able to see that as black and black men, Hispanic men, Native Indian men, black women, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman, we understand that we are oppressed and destroyed as a people. And not look at point the finger at each other when we both are destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be to this point where you blaming the brother for everything. You know what I mean? Saying, making a statement as if he is the one at fault. He is the one that started the domino effect. You understand what I'm saying? When it's, it's your oppressor to the point whereas you trying to be police over each other, and you giving the oppressor a pass. You're not trying to come up against the real problem, which is the oppressor. He's the real problem. You sidebarring that, and you trying to police each other, watch each other, and blame each other for everything. But the oppressor, he walks free. He ain't to blame. When he is to blame for this society that black people, Hispanic people are in, he created it. He created it. He took the fathers out of the house. He made sure that the mother was above the father in the house, which would cause friction in our culture. You can see it throughout the Bible. You understand? It's going to cause friction in our culture. His culture, he could live with that, but we cannot. And he knows it. And he is promoting it and pushing it on us. You understand? And we not seeing that as a people. We not. And I hope black people, Hispanic people would see it and see it quick.
Yep. If I could now, so just on the back of what you were just saying there, like you so right. Like we take as a people, I'm talking about, we taking the stance of trying to police each other, but it's not really policing. It's really oppressing, because the only policing we've ever seen came from the oppressor. The only way to quote unquote manage black people or manage something is from the perspective of the oppressor. You get the point? It's from his lens, and really you now wind up oppressing your own people, because like even just responding to the sister's statement here, like in her answer, she's right from her perspective, but that same Rashida Terry, you need to shift your perspective up. This is what the UPK gonna do. The UPK gonna raise your whole level of awareness. It gonna wake your spirit up. It gonna open your eyes. We don't unpack this first statement here. Now, of course, the second statement you made, right? Just looking at his demeanor, he appeared to be deranged, as if he was undergoing some sort of psychosis. Fair enough. That's a good observation. That's fine. See, it seemed like he wasn't listening. He wasn't hearing. Well, then she says, real men would have walked away because he know he can beat her. So what's the point? That part you need to unpack. What do you mean by real man? So was this a fake man? Was this a toy doll? Was this a Ken doll? Was this a trans man? What do you mean by real men would have walked away? Which is what you need to look at. You need to look at the way we look at each other. What do you mean a real man? It's a flesh and blood male standing in front of you. It's a real man. It is a real man. Silaki, go ahead now, sir.
Silaki, I just have a quick question for what is a real woman in this situation?
So when you don't let me walk. You don't let me walk. I'm trying to show you all the itinerary. I'm trying to show you all the years. Now, that's just like, fuck all this shit. Let's go to the end. What is a real woman? I'm trying to show you all the park and you know, I watch back luck and shit. So I'm trying to talk to the jury. I'm trying to talk to the press. I'm trying to make my case. I'm trying to have you can't handle the truth moment. Now, what's a real woman? That's his name. His name means sever, to cut. He's gonna cut you. Yeah, I mean. Okay, that's what you had to look at. And this is, and once again, this is not us attacking you. This is not an attack. We're just trying to help you see yourself, right? Which is what the UPK does. The UPK is walking in front of UPK camp is like walking in front of the mirror. The problem is the mirror you've been walking in front of your whole life has lied to you. You walk in front of the camp or a class or a radio show, you get to see how ugly you really are. Mm-hmm. You get to see what's wrong with you. You get to see the things, the flaws. You get to see the things that's rotting on you that you need to cut off. Right. You get to see it. And this, in your statement in itself, there's a bias there.
That's right.
There's an absolute bias and an absolute zero understanding that they're both broken, that they're both hurt, that they're both incoherent, they both suffer in psychosis. The problem is you only recognize that type of psychosis. Right? Yes, the other type, we think as a people that that's normal. Right. And our life in America is not normal. It's not normal. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely not normal. Which Moabite you know goes and buys food at night from a Mexican spot? Show me the East Indian and walking in the Benjamite spot at night with the child as a single East Indian mother buying food. Now you might say that's small, that's little, that's nothing. That's our life, and not everybody living like that. So the psychosis is not just on him. He's just showing it or displaying it in a way that's inconvenient for you. Mm-hmm. He's displaying it in a way that's inconvenient for us. But our whole life is just turned upside down. So now let's revisit the whole thing. This is a real man who has real problems.
That's right.
From a real society of people, of real black men and women that have real issues and real problems. We start looking at each other like real people with real problems. You would find we would give each other 10 more passes a day than reaching a breaking point. Mm-hmm. You would find that, and that statement of real men would have walked away. I want to ask you, Rashida, how many real men have walked away from you because they know they could have beat you? I need to know that from you, because really, you're letting me know that walk away from what? If the sister wasn't, from what I see, she wasn't doing nothing. So what is the real man has to walk away for? But again, both genders are internalizing this from their own experience. Mm-hmm. Men is going to visualize that broken woman who yelling and running off the mouth and berate. You're not a real man. You this, you that. And women are going to internalize it as that man who is coming home drunk and beating them and doing this or you know, whatever it is. And he's not a real man. It's we as a society, we've taken away from it something that is not there, which is what the oppressor is putting there. That's his life, his business. What's going on with us is absolute oppression. Right. That Moses saw this in Egypt. The same thing here, Moses saw in Egypt. All right. Pull it to me, Alvin. If you could. Let me see if she's responding with anything else. Right?
Right? She said, I think you need to raise your level. I'm not speaking of gender. I'm speaking of morality. Well, listen to this. In order to speak of morality, you have to speak of gender.
That's right.
Because what's morally right for a man is immoral for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And what's morally right for a woman is immoral for a man.
Mm-hmm.
You're swimming in waters that's way too deep for you, and you're not taking the correction like you should. You're
Ocean
not
view.
taking it. You once again, you listening to reply instead of listening to understand, and you're trying to reply. I think you need to raise your level. If I raise any more, you're gonna can't breathe. We're gonna be too high for you. The scriptures say wisdom is too high for a fool. She don't get me started. No, I was trying to behave and try to deal with the sisters, nice and normal. But I realized I could only be one goddamn way. The scripture, it says wisdom is too high for a fool. You're not understanding what we're saying. Who have it in Exodus for me? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow?
You understand? Moses saw 2 Hebrews smiting each other. He saw 2 Hebrews doing it. And this is what we see in today. We see in also police brutality, the slave master smiting the slave, and the slave smiting the slave. Moses saw it. Keep reading.
And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me?
Right? So now, and they turn around and tell Moses, who made you judge over us? Right. God did. Right. God did. The Most High Power did. Right. And I'm telling you, you're wrong in how you're thinking. You're wrong in how you're thinking. God made us a judge over Israel. That's right. God made us to judge these matters, and I'm giving you the Lord's judgment. Our problem is the oppression has broken both sides. Right. The oppression has broken both sides. Just as it used to be, if he was a real man, he'd have walked away. If she was a real woman, she'd have been cooking for that goddamn boy. Right. She'd have cooked for him and now had to buy from that Chinese man. If she was a real woman.
Right.
You don't want to hear that, though. You don't want to hear that part. Right.
And Salakika. And the vibe again from this Rashida is the vibe that woman have in that store. Yeah, you understand? She had that vibe of that woman in that store.
That vibe is the oppressor's vibe. That vibe you get in there, that's the oppressor's vibe that Eve has to take on to survive in his world. Yeah. She doesn't even understand. She's with the programming of destroying black men. Right. She's with the programming just by her words. She is with the programming. I haven't heard her say yet, it's unfortunate that brother lost his life. I haven't heard her say yet, it's unfortunate a 14-year-old black man had to now put him down. Right. I haven't heard her say it yet. Right. Real man, this, that, the other. He's under some kind of psychosis, drugs, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if she was high. She could have been high, going out for the munchies that night. Right. What's she doing out there that wedding night for food? You can tell me, my rib going anywhere, call me, hey, I'm going out at 11:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night to buy food. What? Bitch, you better order. You better go Uber Eats or go in that cupboard and see what the hell is there. Or come and talk sweet in my ear so I could go and whip up some of these plantains and curry something for your ass. But you leaving to go and spend money where? You don't understand a society and what it takes to run a nation. Right. So you think you understand it, but you don't. You can't speak of morality without first speaking about gender. And that's what America does. America ignores gender. America ignores what the rights of a man and the rights of a woman. Right. America ignores the responsibility of a man and the responsibility of a woman. Right. America ignores the authority of a man and the submission of a woman. Right. So don't tell me now you're talking about gender and you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. You have any more? Please, go ahead.
Kawakad, sir. And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
You understand? Like he now tried to intervene. Skip me down to when he went for the two oppressors. Go ahead. The oppressor and the slave.
Come on, sir. And it came to pass, verse 11, and it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
He spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew. So now he saw police brutality and black on black crime happening while we were oppressed as slaves in Egypt.
Right.
This, what we see in here, is symptoms of oppression.
Right.
So now to try to pin the tail on the donkey and say it's the fault of him because he's on drugs and psychosis, you're wrong.
That's right.
You're wrong about it. To say if he was a real man, he would have walked away, you're wrong.
Right.
You're wrong about it. You're absolutely wrong about what you're saying.
Right.
You get the point? As Nathan say, if she's a real woman, show me what's a real woman.
Right.
Because that woman was there buying food at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with going to buy some goddamn food. But shit, if we're gonna hold, everybody accountable, let's hold everybody accountable. Let's hold everybody accountable. What about leaving a firearm around a minor? What about reckless endangerment?
Right.
Suppose that young boy had shot himself. Suppose he had shot other people in the damn place.
Right.
What about recklessness? Now, if we're going to hold everybody accountable, we have to hold everybody accountable. Did the brother, should he have hit the woman in the face? Hell no. He shouldn't have. He was wrong for doing that.
Right.
He was absolutely wrong for doing it. But of course, there are other things that she didn't even know she could do. Just like you, Rashida. She didn't even know she could do. You saying he should have walked away. Why didn't she walk away?
Right.
Why didn't she say, you know what? You could go ahead, brother, have this meal. It's on me. You know what I mean? Let me buy this for you, man. Ain't no sweat. Your Christians always like to talk about the Lord's will. Maybe it was God's will that you was there that night to buy that brother dinner. Maybe it was the Lord's will.
Right.
Get the point? I think he was right. I think she said that is a circular argument. And then she said, sir, I have 3 degrees. You said one thing right in that question, in that statement there, sir. Thank you for acknowledging me and calling me sir, your Lord, your Adawan. As far as your 3 degrees, let me ask you this, Rashida. Which white man gave you them degrees? I'll wait. Which white man gave you your 3 degrees?
Answer like here too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just on that story also too with Moses, which is one of the a heavy story in itself, where Moses, he didn't choose a side, he chose one side, and that was Israel. You know what I mean? Even though 2 brothers were fighting, he didn't choose either brother's side. He was trying to understand why what the hell 2 of you all fighting? Was the issue? We all under oppression under the Egyptians. Why are we fighting? You understand? He didn't pick a side and say, this is a weak man, you a weak man, you a strong man. He didn't do all that crap. No. You understand?
Moses got to the root, which is what you have to get to. You have to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem here is we are oppressed living under this oppressor. That's what is the root of our problem. And this oppressor creates broken black men and broken black women. That's and right. 2 of them met pieces. That's what you saw. Pieces fighting. Not whole people. Pieces. People who are broken, who are suffering oppression. That's what you saw arguing there. That's exactly what you saw arguing there, because in the same breath, if he appeared to be under some sort of drug, won't the natural thing be to just leave? You know what? Let me leave. Let me look back. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, brother. Let me just leave. But you got 3 degrees though. I just need to know which white man gave you them degrees. Because this week, Thurgood Marshall? What's the Chief Justice's name? The Supreme Court?
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. Clarence Clark was revoked your ability to get affirmative action into them white schools. So I need to know which white man gave you your degrees. I'm just letting you know something. You can't flex on degrees up here. You know, there's more degrees up here than you got in a ball.
Right. And if I could,
More degrees of it passed 360. It's past 360. You're looking collectively here. You're looking collectively at degrees that will spin your top and get you dizzy. Right. And they mean nothing. They mean nothing. In fact, give me that too. Salaki. Y'all gonna say I hate women, but I prefer to teach these black women something here, brother. Give me the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Lord. And then somebody give me 1 Corinthians, I think 10 or 20, where the Lord chose the foolish things to confound the wise. Right?
And if I could,
Salaki, go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say real quickly, is that which one of them degrees say fixing the black community degree? Which one of those degrees say raising up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only degree? I ain't seen that degree yet. The one that we need.
Hold on, Kapash, she say, you want to diminish my accomplishments because you have never done so. You the one brought this thing in the ring, you know. I didn't ask you about the degree. You bringing it in the ring, right? And you mad because you come up short. You know what I mean? Like I can't expect no real judgment from you. And I can't expect none of that from you.
And Salakia, and this is the problem. You understand? With you know, I mean, black woman, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You understand? Like you talking this way to a man and expect him to do what? To just shut his mouth? To just, you know, I mean, just close his mouth and just say, "Well, you win." No, it ain't gonna be like that. As Captain Mashak is saying, you brought your degree in. Why would you even do that? Are you trying to diminish what we are doing or what we are saying?
Come on, come on, where the dog? Tell the dog barker. Tell Rusty barker. Come on, right? You say it again. I think I'll mess it up.
Give her ass the link. Tell her to bring her ass up in here.
That's right.
Yeah, listen. General Q said he got some ties, some envelopes for you to fill, and some work for you to do if you got 3 degrees. Right. You over there working for the white man with your 3 goddamn degrees.
Yeah.
Like that's a good point now. Fact. Like nobody questioned her intelligence. She trying to, sir, I have 3 degrees, and you're doing what with it, woman? Right. You get paperwork from a white man who tells you a man could go sign a piece of paper and become you. That you could go murder your baby in a damn clinic, just revoke of affirmative action. Everything else, you get a degree from him, and somehow you think you got wisdom, and then you introduce it because you look at black men and think, "Ooh, I got 3 degrees. Ain't no way these 5 niggas got no kind of paper." They had to clear a forest of trees to print the credentials up here. I'm telling you straight up, no cap, this is not a lie. This is not a lie. All these beard, boots, and braids that you see, you're going to learn to respect that image.
That's right.
You are going to learn to respect it, and you are going to be humble no matter what the hell this goddamn white man tell you are. That's right.
That's right.
I don't care if he tell you could fly. Bitch, you are a woman. You gonna support your black men. You gonna shut your mouth. You gonna go take them degrees and get to work and bring that money back to the black community. That's right. Because you don't know what to do with it. You hardly know what to say out your goddamn mouth. Right.
That's right. And Salaki Cow.
3 degrees.
One other thing. Sis, can you bake cornbread from scratch?
Thank you.
We'll wait on the answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
All that degree and you can't cook.
Let me tell you who don't have 3 degrees. The Moabite who owned that restaurant that your brother died in. He don't got 3 degrees.
That's right.
The owner of Glock or Smith & Wesson don't got 3 degrees.
That's right.
Go check it out. Go check it out. Whatever his name, something Royston Glock or whatever. He used to make curtain rods before the Austrian army.
hired him to make them knife blades. He don't have no goddamn degree.
Mm-hmm.
You come up here thinking, and that's the nice thing about it. You're going to come up here thinking you could fire shots at the UPK because we're black men in an image that you were trained not to respect and think you ain't going to get nothing back. I don't give a damn about your degree. Right. Damn your degree. Damn all three of them.
That's right.
They're worthless if that's how you think.
That's right.
That's right.
You got to be the dumbest educated woman I've ever met. Right. You bring your degrees in and you calling foul. Oh, you trying to diminish my accomplishment. Right. You diminishing yourself.
That's right.
You a black woman, I'm assuming by your name, which is the top woman on the face of the earth. I just read an article that said Beyonce caused inflation in Sweden. And you could go look at it. She took her tour over there, and Sweden has inflation. The hotel rooms went up, the cabs went up, flights to Sweden in that particular place went up, and the people, the locals, was complaining about all the everyday things going up because of that Beyonce concert. Does Beyonce have 3 degrees, heifer? You diminishing yourself. Right. Them degrees don't make you. You simple, man. You simple. Listen, I ain't trying to get off the stories tonight, but Rashida, you have a lot of work to do. But this is what I'll tell you. This is what she said. I'm the most jealous person ever. I was expecting you to say, I hate black women. So I want to thank you for saying, I'm the most jealous person. No problem. You know what I'm jealous over? That you love your degrees more than your people.
That's right.
I'm jealous over that.
Right.
I'm jealous over your affinity to the oppressor and what the oppressor, and listen, you love what the oppressor tells you you are. And you love what he tells me I am. And you see me for what he tells me I am. Right. That's how you see me. Right.
That's right.
That's the problem here. You're broken, Rashida. You're broken. You're broken. That's about it. We're done with it. Rashida, you could get some help. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you straight up. You could get some help. You could come up in here and get chastised into a daughter of Zion. Right. You could get chastised into a daughter of Zion, and you could come in here and learn how to put 3 degrees to work. That's right. How to put 3 full-on degrees to work for your nation. Get the point? Anybody else? Because I'll make the whole show about her. That's like I got some whole steam. You're like to say I hate black women. I don't hate them. In fact, if it's anything, I love you all too goddamn much. I need to start hating you so I don't get so goddamn heated over you all and your goddamn foolishness. Right. You're simple and you're stupid. Right. I got 3 degrees. From which white man's university? Right. Huh? From which one of them? And don't tell me about the HBCUs because they're white. Right. White man accredit you and tell you smart and you think you got the solution to any goddamn thing. You don't got the solution, Sway.
She still say so like she still say whether she could bake cornbread from scratch, you know.
Yeah.
No, she can't.
I'm waiting.
Bro, she don't even have 3 baking pans. She don't got 3 types of dishes: Pyrex, aluminum, and whatever is the other one that they cooking in. Stainless steel, Salakia. She don't know 3 types of knives in the damn kitchen now. She don't
using.
I got these degrees though.
Right, using 3 degrees to get Chinese food.
Listen,
at 11 at night.
Hold on, Rashida. Where's your husband? I want to talk to him.
That's what I wanted to say.
Oh,
yeah.
Salak, I'm going to you said,
I'm just saying, listen, the cut is Rashida. What does your husband say about the matter?
Right.
That's just what I want to do.
Right. How much degrees he has?
Yeah, come. That's it. Salak, sir.
It's Salak. No, it doesn't say mine. Say mine. You know what I mean? What she said, can we build a house from or farm? Yes. Yes. Right. Yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Like the Obama down campaign. Yes, we can. Full-on professional contractors up in here. Full-on. I'm gonna tell you straight. I ain't want to bust nobody these facts. These brothers you looking at here will flip your whole ghetto over and turn it into damn what's that place in Beverly Hills? Calabasas.
Yeah.
Will make Detroit look like Calabasas overnight.
Mhm.
Can I build a house and a farm? Woman, we got farms.
Right.
What are you talking about? This, hold on. Brother here in DC, Officer Bukwashia bought these things and set up a whole hydroponic thing in his house. It's whatever they call it, with these microgreens and producing them, bringing them all up in here. All up in here. The brothers down in the south, brother, done secured acres of land and got chickens and goats and doing everything. Laban up in Detroit renovates the whole house top to bottom, finish it off. Captain Saka Wall, licensed electrical engineer. Bitch, what the fuck you talking about?
That's right.
What you talking about? Don't get me heated up in here. A car will come and revamp your whole goddamn house. That's right. What you talking about? That's right. And if your degrees were so powerful, why are you asking about this thing? Right.
And Silaki Cap, all the degrees she have.
Again,
it seems as if she.
Go ahead, brother Silaki.
No, I was going to say all the degrees she has. She can't say she can't look it up on the internet. Look up the ingredients, the direction. She gonna say yes, but she's so proud. So proud. You wanna try to come up against the men of the Lord.
Right. Listen,
understand?
I need Rashida Terry to post her degrees and then post a video of her making biscuits from scratch.
That's it. Come on.
Come on, Rashida. Right.
I would be impressed. I would be impressed if she did that. That would really impress me. I would be like, damn, Rashida is something when she did that.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm not suffering any one of these type of critical judgments from some big-headed Christian somewhere. Yeah. I know these brothers personally. I try my best to know all these brothers and sisters that come into this school. And these brothers and sisters come into this school with real life, high level skill. Right. Absolute high level skill. But because we don't present as the Christians that you used to, you decide to degrade us. I ain't standing for it.
That's it.
I'm not going to stand for none of that bullshit. Right. Let me run it, Duff. There's sisters in here that got doctor's degrees, therapists, nurses, lawyers, professors, engineers. What the hell is you talking about?
That's right.
You're looking at us the way the oppressor looks at us. That's why you talked about that black man in that store who dead now, about not being a real man. So what? They put in a damn toy in a box to put him in the ground in the funeral? They put in a fake person in the box? You simple. Right. You absolutely simple. Right. And I'll tell you it's simple because I love my sisters. That's why I'll tell you it's simple. You're dumb.
God, if
you
I could
hinge your whole worth on 3 degrees. That's all you could get today? Right. With Phoenix and DeVry? That's all the degrees you could get? Right. I thought she was going to say 10 or something now. I thought she was, so she was coming with real numbers. Yeah, right. That ain't no real degree. Right. Let me leave her alone. Moving on, sis. Moving on. Next story. I'm done for the night. I think I need to just leave here and just go chill out because this thing here, this is absolutely ridiculous. Now imagine this is how she talks to whoever on the internet. Right. What is she saying to a man in a house? Right. That she's coming home to? Rashida, are you married? Do you have a husband? Do you have a man? Right. What are you saying to him? Maybe that's why a real man should have walked away. Because when you talk about, to your man or whoever else about what you got, right, he gets angry and he walks away. My leg's tired, woman. My feet hurt. I was at camp all day. Right. But I could talk though. And I'm gonna set you straight. That's right. I'm gonna set you straight and put you in order. That's right. Put you in full out order, man. That's right. What the hell you so simple? Can you build a house? Can you get somebody off a crack?
Right.
Can you stop brothers from going into the prison system? That's right. Can you restore a sister's mind after she done committed 3, 4, 5 abortions and give her the confidence to go give you 4 or 5 babies after? Can you do that? Can you do that? Talking about a goddamn degree.
That's right. That's right.
AI gonna replace her ass anyway.
That's right.
Degrees gonna be redundant by 2024. AI gonna replace your dumb ass.
Yep.
You get the point? Like, you are absolutely simple as the day is old.
Right.
And this is how I know what I'm saying is true about you, and you're getting corrected. You're still here commenting like a crazy old woman. Still here commenting, arguing with me.
Right.
Just like the sister in the restaurant arguing with that, what she said, the man under psychosis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The toy man,
like
the Tin Man. I guess he's a Tin Man. He wasn't the real
He
man.
a Tin Man. He's not a real man.
Right.
He's not a real man. He's full of silicone.
He plastic. He plastic.
Yeah, he plastic. He got the silicone with the batteries and stuff. Y'all sick, man. You're absolutely sick. Rashida Terry, you better humble yourself and come into the ISUPK where you can learn to love your brothers.
That's right.
And learn to love your sisters.
That's right.
Get the point? And learn to despise the oppressor. That's what you need. You need 3 things. Dump your degree and take these 3 things, and this will change your life. Learn to love your brothers, learn to love your sisters, and learn to despise the oppressor.
That's right.
Let me replace your degree. You'll see life. A simple woman. That's right. What you think it is? Kabash, what you think it is, huh? Yeah, it is.
That's right. Like Captain Doc said, like what she thought was going to happen, we just going to, just not, disagree. I forgot what Captain Doc said earlier, but it's like, you going to come up against us and diminish what we do? Like, I can say just personally, so like if I may too, like you said, son, you said it was so heavy. Like you talk about your 3 degrees. Them 3 degrees ain't stopping no abortions. The UPK personally is responsible for my daughter being born. You understand? Like me and my rib was not going to have my daughter. And it was the UPK to this day, 6 years ago, that convinced us, was like, nah, we can't do this. We got to have this baby.
With no degree.
With no degree.
Right.
You
So
understand?
what we talking about?
What we talking about, man?
Right.
Well, and listen, this is how he didn't win. You just hear the brother said a life was born because of this knowledge here?
Right.
A life was born. But this is what you're on. I'm beginning to think Rashida is native.
I see.
I'm beginning to think I'm arguing with Nate. Your closet, stripper.
Right.
Oh, big Frida ass stripper.
Hey, Big Frida in the comment.
You gonna stand up in here. You're looking at Sawap down in Trinidad. Sawap is an A-class master welder.
That's right.
I'm talking about high-level shitter. Yeah, this ain't them, like them East Indian holding up pliers and a fucking torch together. This ain't that. Right. This nigga, you put him, he weld the plane together. He weld the damn ships, them cruise ships. He work on things that is high level. What is you talking about?
Ocean Gate would I do I needed his help?
So I could have saved them. He could have saved them on that damn submarine. Right. You know what I mean? She's simple and the day is over. Now she's saying I'm changing the argument. We're not changing the argument. This is what it is.
Right.
You need to understand that the Spirit of the Lord is set up in this way.
That's right.
In fact, let me give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. This is the premise of it. You don't understand things. You don't understand it. How could I tell you about heavenly things when you're not even understanding earthly things?
Right.
You simple. You absolutely simple.
Right.
You got it? Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of every man is Christ. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man should follow our King Christ.
That's right.
Follow him in spirit, in truth, in the whole 9.
Right.
That's our head. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of what?
And the head of the woman is the man.
Is the degree.
Of the woman is the man.
Is Howard University.
Of the woman is the man.
Is a degree.
Of the woman is the man.
The head of you is me, woman.
That's right.
The head of you is me. I know what's best
right.
for your dumb ass.
That's right.
I know what's good for you.
That's right.
I know when you had enough. I know when you need to push yourself further.
That's right.
I know what to do with you more than you know what to do with yourself.
That's right.
Read.
Kawakan.
And the head of Christ is God. And the head of Christ is God. That's the order.
That's right.
The Lord first, Christ, man, woman, children. That order and that spirit was missing from that restaurant.
Right.
And that order and that spirit is missing from you.
Right.
From you. Go hug up them degrees tonight.
That's right.
Go hug them degrees, hug them tight. I hope they keep you warm.
Right. And if I could, real quick, before you dismiss her and everything, it reminded me of a sister I was battling one time. She said, I took a class on African American studies, and the white man taught me it. So she figured she knew knowledge then. What she don't understand is, we an organization, we make degrees. We establish classes in trainings and make degrees for brothers. Like, we ain't impressed by a degree the oppressor give you. We give out degrees. We give out certificates. We give out licenses for brothers to teach knowledge. So we understand that and more. We high above just, oh, you got that. We make them in here in ISUPK. We get a brother out to jail. We get a brother out to jail and train him up and give him a degree in knowledge of the Lord. So we on a whole different level than just, oh, we receiving degrees. We give out degrees. We'll give you a certificate on something that we teach you on this real truth, on this real knowledge.
Lots of biscuits.
That's right.
What did I say?
You need some degree in biscuit making.
Yeah.
I'll make one tonight. Shit.
Listen, that's the new BSc.
That's right.
That's the new BSc. Then I can talk about bachelor's degree.
Right.
Woman, I need a BSc in biscuits.
Right.
Biscuit science. Biscuit science.
And so, like you said, I could pull that scripture too.
Yes.
Please, Slack it. Go ahead.
Where it says where it speaks about we lack the knowledge of this Bible. I think it's either in Hosea or Amos. I think it's Hosea 1 and 3 or something like that. Right? And also to Rashida, Slakia, sir, but I hope them 3 degrees could give you orgasm, because it seems a real man cannot do that. You understand? I hope you wrap that
Nice.
up in the shirt.
Nothing at the front door.
Salakia.
Hello, God, that's my old friend. Nah, it's not just Salakia.
Right.
Them degrees ain't doing what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
You both know it. Them degrees ain't doing this thing here. It's on time. Straight rhythm.
Yeah, right.
Salakia, go ahead out.
Is it Amos where it says we lack the knowledge of the Lord? Where it says ox know its owner.
And he asked, that's Isaiah 1 and 3 or 3 and 2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isaiah 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner. And the ass.
Go ahead.
And the ass, his master's crib.
Uh-huh.
But Israel does not know. My people does not consider.
You understand? And this is your, your Rashidas. You understand? Like, just imagine the Lord saying the 2 dumbest animals on the planet know their master. Right. You understand? Know where they come from. You put them, you let them miles away from their home, they're able to sniff their way back home. The 2 dumbest animals on the planet. You understand? Rashida, it seems as if you might make the 3rd. You understand? You understand? You don't understand the Lord, and you don't understand this Bible, and you think your degree is going to save you in these days. Your degree is not going to save you in these days. It is not. You understand?
That's right.
Damn. Man, you got that education right there.
You're right.
You got that education. I talk like I talk like how she think we are.
Right.
Uneducated.
Right.
I just say ambulance and I just say education. Right? I just say that. I talk like how she think we are.
Right.
Anyway, listen, it's almost 12. I just want to get this last story here with the with CNN with these sheriffs that totally violate this brother here. You know what I mean? And let that be an example too. Brothers, you ain't got to feel inadequate for some woman.
Right.
You ain't got to, sweat it. You ain't got to feel inadequate whether you got what she have or not.
Right.
The Lord said you are her head. The Lord said it. You ain't got to put hands on her, but you could speak the words of the Lord and the Holy Spirit and get that demon out of her. Right. Rashida is just filled with the demons most of our people are filled with. Right. And there's men who think just like her too.
Yeah, come on.
There's men who think like her. There's women who think like her. This is just a product of the oppression. That's all. Moses was viceroy in Egypt and left it. He was like vice president. He was like Pence to Trump or Kamala Harris to Biden. Right. And he walked the hell out of the White House and went down to the ghetto.
Right.
That's what you need to do with your degrees. If you really want to be on something, you need to change the degree of your people.
That's right.
You need to raise them to a higher degree. F your degrees. You need to change the degree of your people.
That's right.
But you can't do it. You know why? You don't have brothers like this, leading you and telling you what to do and what to say and where to spend your money and what to do. You need somebody to tell you shut up.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. You need somebody to tell Rashida, shut him.
That's right.
Shut up, woman. Shut up.
Right.
Shut up, Shamai. I'll get it in languages. Tais-toi. I think that's French. Tais-toi. Shut up. Cállate in Spanish. You need somebody to tell you that because you really don't know what you're doing. And it's going to be said with love.
Right. And Slack, sir. Why does Rashida not be a real woman and shut her mouth and just walk away?
I mean, goddamn,
be a real woman, Rashida, and just walk away.
I think she getting the wrong song now.
I mean, put the keyboard to the side and just watch the computer.
Listen, a real woman would make babies. How many babies you got?
Right.
You know what I mean? And listen, you ain't beating us on the degrees. I know you ain't beating us with babies. I'm telling you that straight up.
Right.
There's you watching 5 factories right here. Factories. I'm talking about, and ain't no off switch.
Right.
This shit just go chugga choo. I'm trying to tell you. Let's get it done.
Come on, God, sir. It's a lot. Multiple deputies fired after 2 black men filed lawsuit alleging torture and attempted sexual assault in Mississippi.
God damn.
The Rankin County Sheriff's Office in Mississippi has fired multiple deputies after 2 black men filed a federal civil rights lawsuit alleging 6 white deputies entered their private residence illegally and tortured them for nearly 2 hours.
Good.
So let me just say one more thing there before we get to this one, right? Just so you all know, right? Okay, so just assuming this is a woman, an actual woman, right? This is the statement. Make me shut my mouth. You wouldn't say that in person to me. I guarantee that 100%. See, what does she say?
Right.
So somebody break it. One of you priests and prophets of the Lord. Tell me what she's saying. Go ahead, Kazak.
She's saying in person, I would have my 14-year-old go to the car and shoot you, nigga. That's
okay. That's the second part. There's something she's saying ahead of that. Anybody understand it?
Yes, it's a Salak, yes, sir.
Go ahead, so I'll come on with it.
When she say, make me shut my mouth, you would not say that to me in person. I guarantee that. Come home.
That's what she said. She's enjoying getting checked out. She's enjoying getting checked, and this is her dog whistling. Like you wouldn't say that to me in person. Right. So now I'm supposed to say, I bet I would. Right. Meet me at such and so. And I know, Rashida, you love this mascot. You love it.
Yeah, that sounds some sexual shit or something.
I don't know how she taking his eye. She loves the whole thing there. She wants him. She wants him. So like I said, go ahead.
In the damn store.
She said exactly what the sister was saying to the brother in the store. She wouldn't shut them. Wouldn't shut up.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, man. Listen,
Like,
toxic
God,
masculinity
she
will
don't
save us.
look in the mirror very well. She don't look in the mirror at all.
It's rough.
It's also sounds sexual too. She sound like she ain't had it in a while. She thinking like,
Listen,
damn.
that's what I was getting. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The degrees ain't helping them. It's not. The degree they're in person with you, but somehow you want me to make you shut up in person. Right. What's? Well, anyway, let's get to these sheriffs.
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
It's like a swap, guys.
No sweat. Swap. You could just read it from here. You have it.
Yeah, can't. That's coming up now, sir. Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. Right. The Rankin County Sheriff's Office in Mississippi had fired multiple deputies after two black men filed a federal civil rights lawsuit alleged 6 white deputies entered their private residence illegally and tortured them for nearly 2 hours.
Damn. So these devils went into these brothers' house and put them, basically kidnapped them. And tortured these men, man. Tortured them. That's crazy.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Now you see, one story is us being broken under the oppression and fighting each other. The other story is we broken and the oppressor just doing whatever the hell he wants us.
Yep.
In your own house. Imagine the trauma that you had to feel from that. You probably wouldn't even want to be in that house anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And attempted sexual assault. Like that's so much a throwback from the days of lynchings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the name they used to call them? Them oppressors that used to run down them slaves.
The
slave catcher.
not the slave catcher. The slave catchers you talking about?
Oh man, there's a name. In the chat, come on, type it in. I know you all hearing us. But that song, like them cops down there, like Mississippi, boy, I ain't lying to tell you. You know what I mean? The Lord had to be your brothers and sisters in that city because that city is one of the most oppressive city in America. Hands
the
down.
lynch mobs now attack?
Not a lynch mob, but I forget the name. It could be slave catcher. You know what I mean? But the ones who would
patrol?
Yeah, the slave patrol.
Slave patrol.
It's song like them. You understand? Like you literally go into a slave home and you torture them, and torturing ain't enough. You try to sexually assault them. So you can imagine what the hell they were doing to those two black men. Oh, that is, traumatizing in itself, man. Oh,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean,
hell yeah. And I believe one of them got shot in the process. Let me see if I could pull the video. I don't know if it'll play. And this story should be national news by now, right? You hardly hearing anything about it. Right.
Yeah. But you will hear about the killings in Chicago. You will hear about the what we call it, not just the killing, the mass murdering in Chicago. You'll hear about that.
These allegations are here, what they base them on.
Go ahead, Nathan.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the drive your point home. Like these stories, they ain't go. This ain't playing on the regular media. Stuff like this to show that that the oppressor, he is still oppressing you in 2003. You understand? That is full of oppression.
Right. In your own house,
in your own house. Like there's nowhere a man could run to in America for some type of peace. You understand? You want peace, you want that type of peace you're looking for, you're going to have to come in the UPK. You're going to have to come. We're going to teach you how to attain that. You understand? Or else, brother, we're going to be in hell for, you know what I mean, from now until Christ return. You know what I mean? You can go ahead and play. Cap, I'm done.
It's like my man said, yeah, Captain Nightclub, what you said is so heavy too, sir. Like, it's real ironic that the 4th of July is coming around, and what these officers did is exactly what the forefathers of America were trying to escape. Like, when you look at the 4th and 5th Amendments, they were literally against the British doing this to them, because that's what the British Army was doing to the American colonists. They were running in their houses and treating their houses as if it was theirs. They had no regard for their domicile. And it was so egregious that if you look in American Revolutionary history, that the British soldiers housing themselves and coming into the colonists' houses was one of the main turning points that spurred the colonists to say, "This is
It's
it.
too much.
It's too much." Yeah, see, you already taxed us. You already took our rights. But now to come into our homes and claim our homes as your own and do whatever you want to us in our own homes, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. So for all you oppressors out there that's watching, just remember on this 4th of July, your forefathers ran from this type of treatment. They called it tyranny. They called it evil. They ran from it and they established a nation. They committed treason according to the British laws. They were willing to be called traitors to the British crown,
right,
to now escape this type of treatment. And you turn around, and as you celebrate the 4th of July, you still commit these type of acts to the people that built you this country, to the people that have loved you and served in your military and sung your national anthem. You're a bunch of hypocrites, and that's why God has to destroy you.
Yeah,
that's why God has to destroy you, because you have no sense of what's right and wrong. If you did, you would look at what your forefathers went through and you would say, well, damn, this is what our forefathers fought against. This very thing.
Right.
But you don't see us as people. And that's why Christ has to come back and avenge us as his people, because you won't do it. You destroy us.
Yeah. It's a lot. That's crazy. I did not know that part. And that's crazy. Like the same thing they said was unfair. They do it to everybody else. Which is like, that white supremacy is just about, we can do it to everybody else that's not like us.
Right.
But you can't do it, I'm not accepting it from you. That's what that is. Let me play this here before we go too late. I ain't going to keep you all much longer.
Yeah, we're still digging down into parts of this because this lawsuit just came out, Jim. But I can tell you, and for some of our viewers, parts of this are going to be hard to hear. Now, the Reagan County Sheriff's Office in Mississippi has fired multiple deputies, and no one will say how many deputies after these 2 black men filed this lawsuit. And they said, of course, they were tortured for nearly 2 hours. But get some of these details here. They, after filing this $400 million lawsuit, they allege that not only were they handcuffed, kicked, and waterboarded inside this own home, okay? And tasers were used on them several times. And at one point, the men claimed that the deputies pulled out a sex toy and tried to sexually assault the men inside this home. And then one of the deputies pulled a gun and put it into one of the men's mouth, opened fire. Take a listen to the attorney and one of the victims' mother talk about this case that has this entire community.
Yeah.
You tell me officers walking around with sex toys on their belt?
That's part of the new upgraded equipment.
Oh my word. Them men planned that.
Damn.
But Salaki.
That's part of the new. And listen, I don't know if y'all remember Abner Louima. Somebody just Google Abner Louima real quick. Like I think it's something with the law enforcement act, because even when, remember at one time where they was holding down little kids where they were running to them pool parties, remember that video?
Yeah.
Where the cop held down the girl and she was screaming and then he kind of laid all over. Right. I think it's subduing someone is some kind of fetish for them.
Right.
It's something that pervades into the law enforcement. You have Abner Louima? Go ahead.
Abner Louima is a Haitian American man who in 1997 was physically attacked, brutalized, and raped by officers of the New York City Police Department.
No, y'all on your old time, go check out this story out. Abner Louima, I mean, brother, this brother here went through it. You skipped me to the part I want. I think you probably just got it. Go ahead.
It says his injuries were so severe that he required 3 major surgeries. Officers responsible for the attack were charged and convicted in federal court.
Okay, the raping they're talking about, they took a plunger and put it in this brother's behind and kicked it into him.
Oh God!
This brother spent months in prison, in hospital, Salakia. Months in the hospital. And you think your degrees mean something. You think real man and this and that. You don't understand what we're fighting against.
Right.
You don't understand the condition we are in as a people.
Right.
You have it? Go ahead, Al.
Kawakan. On the ride to the station, the arresting officers beat Louima with their fists, nightsticks, and handheld police radios. On arriving at the station house, they had Louima strip searched and put in a holding cell. The beating continued later, culminating with Louima being sexually assaulted in a bathroom at the 70th Precinct Station House in Brooklyn. Volpe kicked Louima in the testicles, and while Louima's hands were cuffed behind his back, he first grabbed onto and squeezed his testicles.
I don't know. You ain't got to go into no more. You could read it. It's absolutely horrible what they did to this brother. And the more they beat him, the more they got energized. If you read the whole thing down, it went from here to here to here until, he suffered so much internal damage from all this nasty sex shit they're doing. I mean, and you purple boys, y'all know y'all start with that NYPD. And then one of y'all shoved the trying in the damn face. I'm telling you, it's some kind of underlying, fetish with this law enforcement that we face.
Right.
Which is why we need to build our own nation.
Right.
That's right.
Shaken and trying to figure out exactly what happened.
His tongue was separate. It was holding on by a sliver when the bullet went through.
We're calling them.
Oh man.
Constant.
This is who they call? Intezariak done show you. You ain't have the solution?
Right.
This is who you call. This is the problem we're talking about. Right. This is the problem.
They referred to these men as monkeys. When they came in, they accused these young men of dating white women and selling drugs. I've never seen anything like this.
So, Jim, to put all this together, you have the attorney who is saying some of the things that you heard there that sound quite shocking. You have the mother of one of the victims talking about her own child's tongue.
Even this is what I talk about. You had to really go. I want to see the budget for destroying black men.
Right.
He said, some of the things you just heard about is quite shocking. Right. Nigga, where have you been all your life? Have you never read a slave account?
Right.
Have you never? We just read Abner Louima, 1995.
Right.
Shocking? Is anything the police do today shocking? What we talking about?
Right.
And he's saying it like if it's kind of made up. Like we're still investigating because a lot of this is really shocking.
Right.
Allegedly and shocking and what?
Tongue barely hanging on inside his mouth after being shot. The pictures are horrific. And this community has been asking questions. This happened back in January. So a lot of questions, Joe.
So the sheriff's deputies, they've been fired, presumably for cause. Does that indicate that the sheriff's department has evidence of the wrongdoing here? I mean, what has their response been to all this?
Well, that's a great question. And Jim, you and I have been here before, have talked about cases where people have been accused of things. What we've learned so far, and it appears some of these deputies were allowed to retire, some were fired. But yesterday, when the sheriff stepped to the mics, he did not take any questions from the media. So we can't even find out how many deputies have been disciplined in this. He also talked about bringing in another officer to sort of help out and look over the entire department. And he said he would not step down as sheriff. But we should put a part of his statement that I want you guys to see here. In the statement, the sheriff says he will continue to investigate, efforts are complete, and justice is served. We cannot, however, confirm or deny any specific facts related to this incident because of active ongoing investigation. So you see this all sort of playing out there, Jim, where he's not really answering the question. Now, look, we understand investigations going on, but we've watched some of these things happen across the country. When you fire deputies or you ask some to retire, there could be more information that is given to the community. There have been community members in this area that have been asking for months to try to figure out exactly what happened because the public trust has been broken in that place, and they want to know exactly what's going on and who's policing the deputies.
And they'll want updates on these investigations.
No one. That's who's policing the deputies. Right.
That's
no
right.
One. No one policing the chief. No one.
And if I could say something real quick, I hate hearing the news or certain people, especially Christian type people, talk about this stuff. Like when he said, we definitely have questions. There's definitely questions. We ain't got no fucking questions.
Right.
And we want to see some judgment. We want to see them on all type of charges. We want to see we got this problem. We want to see problems. Like I'm tired of hearing these type of people talk about this type of stuff. They always try to be so political. But if it was some oppressor's woman that got something happened to her, they'd be, we want justice, we want judgment, we want this, we want that, we want to see this, we want to see. They got demands and they care and all of that. Like we don't have the right leadership and the right people speaking for us, man. What's happening to our people is it should not be speaking with some type of calm political ass tone.
No.
Like there's no way we should be talking about this type of stuff with some type of calm political. We our community, we definitely have questions about this incident. Like, no, we got more than that. Yeah. So we shouldn't even speak to the media news until we ready to speak how we supposed to speak, until we ready to let the ISUPK speak, until you ready to let us speak. What's the purpose of y'all talking? What's the purpose of you having Malik Shabazz talking and Al Sharpton talking? The way they talk demeans what's going on. The way they talk does not convey the seriousness of the tone that needs to be put for what's going on.
Right.
So I just had to bring that up because it was just I'm just like I thought he was about to say it again. I was about to go off. So
it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Your response ain't wrong. It ain't weird. It's normal. Like there's things that happening to us that we have no clue about. We don't understand it, and we really don't understand the root of the problem is being under them. Right. They say this thing happened since January. It's July 1st. It's 7 months. 6 months gone, we into the 7th. Right. And this is the first time you're hearing about it. This is the first time you're hearing this brother's tongue was shut off in his mouth. You know what I mean,
you talking about we got questions.
All I'm saying is when you see us on the street, don't say nothing. Just keep moving. That's right. Just let us do what we do. Because you're letting them do what they do. Right. You ain't doing nothing to them. Right. They get into going people's house, kidnap them, do all kind of things to them, violate them. You letting them do what they do. Let us do what we do. That's right. Let us do what we do. We're going to raise up this nation, man. Christ coming back to bring judgment. That's right. Absolute judgment. The blood is going to be up to the horses' bridles. And this is one of the reasons why. Right. Absolutely one of the reasons why. Absolutely ridiculous, sir. That emasculate a man in his own home, do all kind of stuff. I mean, they're saying it's because of some white woman something. You brothers, you better stay far from these bunnies, man. That's right. Stay far from these bunnies. Rashida needs some goddamn help. Right. You over there with the bunnies. Not saying that's the justice, but that's what could happen. Right. Stay far. Right. You know what I mean? Listen, we way over the time. Tonight we just went a little bit more.
Cam got cut short today, so I had to finish off the camp tonight. Salakia.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to
Right.
say again, Yahanna, for everybody
That's
coming
right.
in, everybody who's in on the inside. You know what I mean? Of course, big up Nathak always holding it down. The General Q, you know what I mean? Most of
Right.
these guys down there too. You know what I mean? The voice of reason. You know what I mean? Holding
That's
it down.
right.
As usual, big up Captain Kapash, holding down the Midwest, Lord of
Right.
Captain CEO, end of the month, holding it down there in the Midwest in Chicago. Big up Sowak for joining in tonight. Yeah, I mean, holding it down there for Trinidad, representing. You know what I mean? Of course, Kazak always holding it down with me in GC here, rocking it out for Command and General Yahanna. Tune in every Monday night, Command and General Yahanna on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come and get the really raw, the riggedy raw with him and his heavy hitting crew. They're gonna be live in Chicago end of the month. Book your ticket now. Get up in it. We're gonna be rocking live. Pay your tithes, ISUPK.com. Go pay your tithes. Get down with the truth. Support the truth, man. We'll be back next week, Lord allow. You know what I mean? Shalom. Yabashim Shabrakatham.
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course, get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that, I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick, I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any part. I need a Selena like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Hopper Free. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. I'm grateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, told that bitch